I put this poll up on my Instagram the other day where I'm like, hey, how much do you think I've spent on BTS?
I was about to
Yeah.
ask you that.
Exactly. Yeah. And then like I gave the options of 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, 100,000. What do you think? I've been to 16 shows. I have all the like a shit ton of merch.
I would say 100.
I would say 10.
100.
Because you got to include the tattoos too.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
didn't think
no, the
about the
tattoos
tattoos.
was cheap. This was like 600 and like.
Oh, okay.
But it's
Wait,
like
100,000?
100,000 because the concerts I'm going to right now, like what you don't realize is K-pop stands, they have fucking money.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. I'm Mario.
And I'm Peter.
And we're
Guys That Listen.
On today's episode, we have hairstylist and BTS expert, Cindy Soung.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
So who's your bias wrecker, and your visual?
That's easy. Bias is Jungkook. People who know me, they already know. And then bias wrecker right now is RM. Visual. Right now I'm here for the August D concert, so Suga.
Same.
I know that I've asked this before, so I'm ill-informed, but can you explain what that means? Because I know bias, I'm assuming, is like the person that you like the most, right?
Yes.
The other two is what?
Bias wrecker is like, say you're in love with one person, but then you always have your eye on this side person that's kind of hot. And it changes all the time. Like usually your bias stays with you, but then sometimes you get obsessed with your bias wrecker. And it's almost like you cheat on them and then you leave them for your bias wrecker. And then, I mean, I think the most visual person from the group is V. And I think that's how that's the gateway usually that gets them into BTS. And then they find their bias. That was my bias for a minute too.
Is that the dude who does the shower thingy with the abs in the water or whatever?
No, he doesn't have, who's that?
I don't know.
That's about to be my bias.
Is there not some dude who does like the ab thing?
That's Jungkook, I think.
Oh, okay.
It's either Jungkook or Jimin, but usually like whenever they do shows and everything, people will be like, "Ooh, who's that guy with the blue hair? Who's that guy with the black hair at the Grammys?" And it's always V because visually he's just like perfect looking. Like I think they always name him like the number one or number two like hottest or like most handsome man in the world or something.
Really?
Yeah. His face is just like perfect.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Is there any other terms that we're missing besides bias, wrecker, and visual?
A hard stand.
What's that?
Wait, you guys don't know what a hard stand? Like,
That's
do you know
though.
Do you know what a stan is?
Yeah, we know a stan.
Okay,
I think
basically,
so.
yeah, like stan, like Eminem stan.
Yeah.
But then just imagine like intensity with that, and then you're like,
Isn't that already intense though?
No, it's like even worse.
Are you a hard stan?
A little bit. It's like some people take it over the edge where they're like, oh my God, so there's like this crazy girl on YouTube. She thinks she's like in a relationship with V from BTS. She has this video. It's like it's almost like you're a little delusional.
Oh
wow.
I'm
That's
like,
scary.
It's a little fun, but then there's hard stan.
So what would you consider yourself? Medium stan?
A little bit of a hard stand, but yeah, this is public. Can't say all that. But I would say people would know me would be like, "You're a fucking hard stand."
Well, yeah. How'd you get into all this? BTS was that your first group?
No, it wasn't. So I started listening to K-pop like back when I was like in middle school.
Oh shit.
And my first group I listened to was called like HOT. So that was like basically the first K-pop group ever made. And then from that, their formula, I think there's like 3 major companies. So they created different groups, but HOT was the formula. And then from there, they made like the group I was listening to a lot before BTS was called Big Bang. And then, they always had to do the military service. And so I'm like, damn it. Like my favorite group is going. And then one of my brother's girlfriend was like, oh, BTS really likes Big Bang. And like Big Bang always like vouches for them. And so I was like, oh, I'll give it a listen, whatever. And then I just started by watching, because I'm not Korean, so I don't understand like the song. So if I play the song, like sometimes the music is just really loud. But then if you watch it with the videos and you see all the visuals, and that's how I got it. Because like the first song I saw was called Save Me, and they're just kind of dancing in not like a desert, but like an open field, and you see how long their legs are, and they're just like all moving. And I was just like, what is this? And then I'm like, oh my God, look at their hair. And so for me, a lot of it's just the visual of the hair. And I think that's the biggest difference for me with like American music versus K-pop. And like, because like K-pop, I feel like they dress the part. They have that really creative look to it. And then in America, if you do that too much, then you're trying too hard. Like you kind of just roll out of bed and start performing. You look
Yeah, they're like
authentic.
the messy.
Yeah. But like in Korea, it's like if you look the part, then it's too much for the U.S. But then, yeah.
But it's kind of switching now, right?
I think a little bit. Yeah, I think like now they're trying a little bit more, like in the U.S. to look a little bit more presentable. Because I know like Justin Bieber, I love Justin. Like I have a Justin Bieber tattoo. Like I'm not a hater, but like sometimes
her tattoo's like fuck
I
Justin.
know. It's starting to get covered by Jungkook, but it says purpose. You don't have to zoom in on it. But like I love Justin, but sometimes it looks like he just rolled out of bed, put on a hoodie and some shorts, and then went to perform.
I think that's exactly what he does.
Exactly, and it's like
no, I bet you the hairstylist had to
nonchalant.
work on him for like an hour to get that look perfect.
Exactly.
messy look.
No, they do because like the effortless look takes a lot of effort. But then like BTS will get their hair and makeup done, and then people will be like, "Oh, that's too much." I'm like, no, they're like doing their job, and they look good, and I think that's what a lot of people appreciate.
Do you feel like the beauty standards have changed even throughout like Western culture? Because now there's a lot of BTS fans out here. I mean, just in general, K-pop fans.
Yeah.
Like I went to my first, well, not really K-pop show. You know, I wouldn't call it that, but I went to
Wait, who
Coachella
was
and
it?
I saw
Oh,
Blackpink.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was like, whoa, they're really good.
Dude, they're so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have the energy, the performance, and everything was like choreographed correctly. And the lighting situation was super dope. The cinematography, the way they present everything. I was like, wow, I have no idea what they're saying. This is kind of cool.
The way they just know how to zoom in like on the angles of camera people are like so good. Like there's a part where it's like a BTS song called Fake Love where Jungkook rips up his abs. And everyone already knows at that part the cameraman better zoom in on the abs. But if it's wrong,
Look how excited she got.
then you get mad. Like there's some shitty ass like camera people. So like I think that's why they travel with all their own like camera people because like with the song, each song they already know what the pinpoint is.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I did notice like mostly with guys, like a lot of guys before they wouldn't like wear like back maybe like a couple years ago, no one would do the dangly earrings. And now all of a sudden the guys are all doing the dangly earrings. And I'm like, it's kind of like K-pop inspired. So I think it's making guys more comfortable with kind of being like a little bit more like soft, which is nice. Yeah. And like they can grow their hair out a little bit longer. And I think it's just okay for guys to be soft now. And sometimes they're a little too soft, but I don't know. That's a different story.
I think we need one of the camera angles too though on the show. Like Peter.
I also need the abs.
Show right now.
Exactly.
Don't zoom in on that.
Just look up the videos. There's like Jungkook's compilation of just abs.
No, one of my friends has actually played it for us.
Yeah, see? You've seen it.
Yeah.
You've seen it. Yeah.
Wow.
Ivy.
Wait, okay, have you ever had abs?
When I was like in high school.
Okay, I've never had it, so I'm like, I wonder if I had that power, would I abuse it? You know, would I be like,
You would,
like
probably.
that? I really am.
Nah, you're not. He's not the abusing type.
No.
Yeah, I like to like
know.
not show skin. You know, I'm one of those guys.
He's literally been celibate for 2 years. Like,
Yeah, I'm like, this is what you get after marriage. You
Hey, you can just be a shirtless podcast.
know,
That's it.
didn't we talk about that?
we did.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We just need the right guests for that.
Yeah, because I think that'd be awesome. Because I would want to be like, hey, just be comfortable in your own skin. You
He's
know,
like,
here's a beer belly. But that's so interesting because you're talking about the aesthetics of K-pop and how it's like now transitioning to even like the Western culture, right? Because all we thought about before was like super hyper masculine, like big gigantic. Like, all right, abs is still abs, right? No matter the way you look at it, but there are dudes who are like just jacked to the gills.
yeah.
and-
It's like, I wonder when guys do that, like, are they trying to impress like a female or are they just trying to impress like other dudes? Because as a female, when I see someone super jacked, I'm like, oh, like you're intimidating, like you're about to explode, your shoulder's about to pop. But then I'm like, maybe is that like an intimidation thing?
I think in general there is. I think it's mainly for guys. I think it's mainly for themselves.
Yeah.
When you get to that size, you know, because at that point most of them are competing.
Yeah.
Right. But I think the women who are into it, the guys who go for that kind of women, it's very like specific. It's very niche, you know? Like only certain kind of women like want guys who could like crush them. You know
Yeah.
what I
And
mean?
have like that shoulder blade muscle. I'm like,
yeah.
The traps.
it's a lot. Is that what that's called?
I think it's also a difference in beauty standards
Yeah.
too. In the same way where you have something in like let's go Korea where it tends to be more soft, more feminine. Even like the makeup for girls is completely different, you know,
Yes.
and compared to like westernized where it's like maybe you'd consider it more masculine or a little more rougher, you know. And it just takes that extreme to, you know, get jacked? Because I don't think I've ever seen a jacked like Korean like.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
there are.
nowadays
From
there are.
Korea.
For some reason, it's all over my algorithm
they are.
now.
Really?
Super
From like
jacked.
South Korea.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh wow,
Have
I've
you
never
seen the
seen
show
it.
Physical
North Korea,
100?
they ain't got food, bro.
Stop.
Physical 100 on Netflix.
What's
Oh
that?
yeah.
See,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they're all jacked. It's like
Jacked.
this
Yeah.
like competition show, like based on all these. I think it's like their top 100 like athletes, men and women, and when you see them, they're jacked. And it's kind of like a Squid Games of competition. It's good.
Oh, yeah, that sounds cool.
I mean, I
Yeah.
stopped after episode 3, but because my person got kicked off, so I was like, whatever.
Yeah, I just saw the preview.
The person with the
Yeah.
nice hair.
Not his name was Agent H. He was kind of like a little bit older, but he was like a daddy older.
So your range goes from like
Yeah,
Jungkook
exactly.
25 to Daddy
I have no
45.
type. Exactly. I have no
Okay.
type, so it just goes wherever.
I was gonna ask you how I know you have your tattoos. You know, obviously you are a stan, borderline hard stan.
Yeah.
How important is BTS or K-pop to you? Like, what does it mean to your life? Like,
For me, like it's like this feeling. Like so when people are kind of like, "Oh, you're obsessed with Jungkook," I'm like, "No, not really." Like when I see him and him perform, like the thought of him is like you feel safe. It's kind of like you're home. Like you just feel comforted by this person. It's not like, "Oh my God, I'm in love with you. I want to marry you" type of feeling. It's just like something that just makes you happy. So I think with K-pop, even though like there's the words I can't really understand it, but I think just their message and the way they try to promote like self-love, things like that, like generic type stuff. But like, I mean, they could talk about anything. They could talk about hoes and stuff if they wanted to. Like,
Do they?
They don't. Well, you know what they talk about a lot is haters.
really?
Yeah. So like they'll talk a lot about like, oh, if you have haters, it's fine. Like, love yourself and like, or they'll say, fuck your haters.
Yeah.
So I think they just promote like a lot of self-love. Yeah. Self-love and just by yourself.
Oh,
Yeah. Whereas like other people, it's all about hoes and money.
that's literally
and, like, cars and like, getting rich.
What every K-pop person I ask, that's literally pretty much verbatim what they tell me.
Yeah.
Or it's like just this focus on like, hey, love yourself. Sometimes mental health. Sometimes like
Exactly.
care about yourself.
Exactly.
And it's never about like at least towards like American stuff. It tends to be
Yeah.
about like hoes, money,
flexing,
hustle, grind,
yeah.
flex.
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Yeah.
And they fall more, even though they don't understand the
Yeah,
words. Like,
Exactly. Like sometimes when I'm just like feeling down, I'll just listen to the song called Magic Shop. I'm like, like, console me. And that's really it. Like if you see someone post about Magic Shop on their stories or something, they're sad.
oh, I was
Yeah.
the first thing I thought of was, oh, you mean candy shop?
Exactly.
But
See,
50
yeah, no, people confuse it with Candy Shop, but like Magic Shop
But
is like
50 Cent?
it's like this BTS song about like if you don't feel good, like BTS is here to comfort you in this little
Aw.
magic shop. Like come have tea with me. So it's just soothing. Yeah, I think it just calms you down.
Okay. No, I feel like a lot of BTS fans say that how it
Yeah.
like they really resonate with the message that they're trying to put out,
Yeah.
and they don't get that from a lot of like Western
No,
music.
no.
Do you feel like that's a BTS thing or like a K-pop boy band?
I
kind of
feel
thing?
like it's a BTS thing because, like, even though like with Big Bang, Big Bang felt more like a Western thing because they would talk about cars and guns. Maybe not. I don't know about guns, but I mean like Bang Bang Bang. I'm like, what was
talking
that
about the Army base.
What's the
Exactly.
Big Bang?
Yeah, so it's kind of like they were like more like modern Western, but no group is like BTS. Like even their caliber of how big they are, it's like there's
They're
so many
huge.
K-pop groups, but why did BTS make it to the top? Because I was wondering the same thing. I'm like, Big Bang's way better than you, and all of a sudden I'm like, no, BTS is better than everyone. So I think I tried to dig in to see why they're so good too, and that's when I got caught up into the rabbit hole. And I
always
think
the rabbit hole.
and I think a lot of it is like you start off by seeing like their visuals, like I said, where I'm like, oh my God, they're so good, the dancing, the abs, and everything. And then there's this other side to them, which in K-pop or whatever they call it, duality. So like you're this like hot ass smoldering person on stage, you know how to do your thing, and then once you're off stage, they have these like little variety shows, or like they'll film. Like imagine you're just at you guys are spending the summer together with like your friends, and someone's just recording you, and it's kind of like you act normal. You're like a freaking clown.
It's like
but
a BTS thing, like behind the scenes.
Yeah, so like a lot of these groups, they have that too, but for some reason, like Jungkook could be so goofy and so cute, but then also be smoldering on stage, and you're just like, what is this? Like, and I think another thing about Korean people is like they love this like cute and sexy combo.
Yeah.
And that's
yeah.
what he has. It's like, oh, you're so sexy on stage, but then you're so cute.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I
Yeah.
have a bunch of friends who are into like Blackpink,
And it's Jennie,
Dude.
right?
yeah,
No,
it's
Yes,
Jennie,
they always
and-
talk
it's
about
Jennie.
how
And
she's
Lisa
cute and
too.
sexy.
Lisa.
Yeah.
Oh,
But it's
she's
like-
so hot.
Right?
They'll see pictures. Oh my gosh, she's so cute, and they'll see her on stage and it's like, oh my gosh, she's so fine.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And it's that combo that they have, and then that's what kind of once you know their personalities, then you just fall so deep into the hole.
I
Yeah.
keep seeing people fall into the hole. Like my best friend, like she loves K-dramas, and she's been doing all the K-dramas, watches all
Yeah.
of them and stuff, whatever. And then as of the last few months, she's like gotten super into Blackpink. And then so she saw the concert, and she was like, "This is the best concert of my life." And then she's been watching. She has the live stream
Yeah.
recorded. She watches it when she goes to the gym and stuff. And I'm like, "You're still watching the same like concert stuff for the
Yep.
2 different weeks?" And then she's like, "I bought tickets."
Yep.
I bought 4 tickets.
She going to Vegas?
She's going to Vegas and LA.
Yeah,
She's
see,
like,
it's a whole. It's like you don't think you're gonna get sucked into the rabbit hole. All of a sudden, you're at 16 concerts.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy.
so she's going to the Vegas one with her girlfriend, and then she's like, "You want to go to LA?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm down. All right, I'll start listening to Blackpink."
Yeah, I think once you experience a K-pop concert is so different because I've been to a lot of concerts before. Like the most recent American concert ish that I've gone to was like SZA, and you go there and it's kind of just like rowdy.
Yeah.
But then you go to K-pop and they have all the light sticks, they have everything there, like everything's synchronized, and it's just like a whole vibe. Like once you see the Blackpink stuff, the BTS stuff, like that's how you get sold. Like even though you're just going kind of like, I'm gonna
I'm
check
scared
it out.
now.
I know.
I'm about to
All
join
of
a
sudden, you're gonna
cult.
buy 4 tickets. Yeah, you're gonna
After
go.
that concert, I'm be like, "Yo, Cindy, dye my
See?
hair flat."
Blackpink.
Yeah, dye it silver.
See, and that's what K-pop stands start with. They start off with doing their hair color.
All right,
I'm gonna come back.
I can see it.
I'm gonna have a tattoo of Lisa right here.
Is Lisa gonna be your bias?
She already is.
Wow.
She's so hot.
You know what's
She's so
crazy
good.
though? It's that talking about, let's say, the girl band groups, it's like, again, also a very different standard of beauty, right? Because
is.
over here, with the rap music and the big booty bitches and all that stuff, like over there, not at all. It's
No.
like crazy. It's like, I have friends who, that's usually, if you were to ask about their type, it would be like girls with, they're super curvy,
Exactly.
you know?
Big boobs, big ass. Yeah.
But then all of a sudden they get into Blackpink and they're like, she's so hot also.
Exactly.
But I'm
That's
like,
me.
dude, it's the polar
Exactly.
opposite.
Exactly. Is it the face or is it the vibe? What
It's
do you
the
think
vibe.
it is?
I don't know. I think
It's the vibe and the face. At least for me,
It's
like,
like a girl with swag, kind of. Like
that's actually
Lisa.
that's exactly
Yeah.
it. That's honestly exactly
Yeah.
it. Where it's like she's not typically my type, or like she's thinner than I usually like.
Yeah.
No, I don't care about big boobs, big ass stuff. But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like them more thick. But then like Lisa's just like it's her attitude, like her
Exactly.
vibe, and I'm like, damn.
Like she look like she just slap you.
Yeah, and
Wait,
I like
you said
that.
you said you don't like big boobs and big ass, but you like them more thick. So are they just like thicker all around? Is
I
this-
mean, I don't care as much. Like it could be either or. You know, it's not like I need that. You know, but it's like I mean I do like the curves, but I don't know. With Lisa, I'm like, dude, she's hot. Like just her
Right?
her attitude.
Like
Like
her
she
aura.
raps too, and
Yeah,
I'm like, yo, that's
exactly.
cool.
She got the swag.
I wonder if that's gonna transfer over to like how BTS look is kind of transferring over to Western culture. If all of a sudden now you see girls and they're all like no curves, they take the BBLs out, you know, everything's gone now.
No. I noticed that a lot of the girls they'll get like the BTS haircuts. Like they'll like copy their favorite member. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Wait, you said girls?
yeah. I'm like, I don't know if that looks good on you, but okay.
You get that request?
Like I don't get any clients like that, but like when I see them, I'm like, oh, that's Jungkook's haircut on a girl. Okay.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like girls do that.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah,
Some
but I'm
girls
just
could pull
like,
it off, I'm sure.
Interesting.
I did. My friend showed me like, so you go to all these concerts, you follow, right? Like,
Yeah.
So yeah, there's like I saw someone who does that for Blackpink, and she's got roses. She looks like Rose. She's got Rose's haircut, and she's always there. She's like picture with like Rose.
Exactly.
I'm like, wow, how you do that? She's at like 30 concerts down, blah blah. And I'm like, damn.
I'm jealous. I wish I've been to 30 BTS concerts.
Do you when you get tickets? Do you go VIP? Do you like?
It just depends on how to get it. But now like the fandom has grown so big. Like
Yeah.
I think after COVID, like so I think the biggest difference was with BTS is like during COVID, they were still putting out music, like mainly because like they didn't want their fans to be down. They're here to like encourage their fans to like see the light at the end of the tunnel because they just canceled this huge concert that they were supposed to do that had like maybe 20 cities. So they came out with a song called Dynamite and they're like, oh, here, be alive again, be happy. And then, yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like BTS, they just are a little bit different when it comes to like how their music approaches.
So for you as a fan, what's the craziest thing you've done as a hard stan?
I think the tattoos is what people are the most butthurt about.
That's it. That's not too bad.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. It's just like, why are you so bad about what's on my body? I don't really know.
But I feel like BTS fans are a little different though. We had a guest on Gremlin, and he has he's a rapper. He has fans with his face tattooed on them. Yeah, and I don't think his fans are like, why the hell you must be obsessed or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I also do feel like, weirdly enough, BTS fans are a little bit more sensitive about things. So they're quick to like judge and ridicule.
Yes,
Peter, you're gonna get us canceled.
And critical.
Yeah, man, that's fine.
I know. Okay, to be honest, sometimes I hate Army. I think other people hate other Army too. Sometimes, yeah.
Can you explain Army? I keep on hearing it. I think I have an idea, but
basically, Army is just the name of the BTS fandom because BTS stands for Bulletproof Boy Scouts, and then all their fans are called Army. And then like for example, like I was here for a BTS concert a couple years ago, and I ended up staying at the same hotel as them. And I remember like when I drove in, like they're leaving, and so there was all these fans kind of just waiting outside, and then I just pulled up and I'm like, oh my god, like that's BTS right there. I'm jumping out of my car, balancing my car, and I recorded it, and then I posted it on TikTok maybe like a couple months later. And then all these fans came and they're like, why would you record them? Like, this is invasion of privacy. I'm like, dude, they literally came out of a public entrance. And then there's other fans who are like, chill out, like they're already gone. Like there's like a whole ocean between them. Like they're not even here anymore. So there's like there's their own extreme of like fans that get it and fans that are just like so protective. I'm like, don't you think their bodyguard would have like knocked me down like if I was really in the way? But no, they wanted to see their fans, but some were just overly protective as if they're children, or like they call it infantizing, like BTS. Like Jungkook's fucking 25. Like he can take care of himself.
yeah, he got abs. He could
Exactly. I don't think he's scared of me. Yeah.
That's crazy because I feel like that's a lot of fandom in general, but it feels like BTS like has an army.
It's like
of them,
toxic.
You know? Yeah,
It's really toxic.
I remember I did a photo shoot for this concert for this Chinese artist. He was really big too. And after the concert, he was like, okay, I'm going to go into this car, but I'm going to go out the other side into another car so that the fans wouldn't follow him. So he'd go through like one back seat, but then he escaped through the other one to go into another car. Yeah, and then we went to go eat with them because like that car went another way and he went another way so that no one would follow him. And I was like, dude, is that what you do for like all your shows? He's like, yeah,
That's
people
kinda
will follow you
scary.
back. And I think it's insane because he's a guy, just like Jungkook. He's a guy,
Is it
right?
Jackson Wang. Can you drop the name?
I don't remember, to be honest. Yeah.
You don't. Did you sign an NDA?
No. I just don't. I just literally don't remember. My memory sucks. But
It really does.
what the heck was I about to say? See, through my phone. Oh, and so luckily they didn't follow him because we went in a separate car to meet him up at the restaurant to eat. But what I was trying to say was that, you know, with male celebrities, it's like, oh yeah, you have this idea that they could defend themselves. But in your case, you're saying that, what's gonna happen to him? He's a guy. But there are fans who are like, you know, infantizing him, like you were saying, right?
Yes.
But I feel like with female celebrities, that kind of makes sense. Like I've seen it. You know, I remember, I forgot her name, but she wasn't even that big. But she was doing an autograph signing, and one of her fans came and like shot her.
Oh, was it like a YouTuber?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw
and I was
that.
just like,
People are freaking crazy.
I think male obsessive fans are a lot different
They
than
are.
female obsessive
They
fans.
are.
Like maybe a female will like probably maybe follow you, but it most likely won't kill you or try to hurt
Exactly.
you.
Hey, Selena got shot by a female.
Oh yeah, that
Okay,
doesn't count though. But I'm talking
true.
about I'm talking about like
Yeah.
female fans to male celebrity and
Yeah.
vice versa.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. I saw
Yeah.
that. It was like a YouTuber, and
Yeah.
like the guy just followed her all the way from somewhere and just came and shot her.
Yeah.
Oh, not even. He followed her to her house.
No,
No,
it was like
to,
at a show.
To
yeah.
a signing.
Yeah.
Like in the front. Like in line. with her.
I'm thinking, was that like in LA or something? Like,
Yeah, I thought it was like in Florida or something.
like
but
she
it
was like a popular YouTuber at the time.
yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
That is.
Yeah, fandom kind of scares me sometimes when I hear stuff like that. I personally have never been down the rabbit hole that deep for anything.
Yeah.
You know, I would love to understand like what, you know, like the people from the army feel and stuff like that. Cause I'm just like, damn, to feel like comforted by like,
Yeah, no,
song?
it really
Sounds
is.
nice.
It really is. Like to me, like when I started, I was just like, who's this guy with the red hair? Mm-hmm. And then you just Google it. Then all of a sudden you know their names. And then you're like, oh, let me try to match the voices. And then, yeah, from there you just go down the rabbit hole. Like I don't know how, like, do you think I put this poll up on my Instagram the other day where I'm like, hey, how much do you think I've spent on BTS?
I was about to
I was about
ask
to
you
ask
that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then like I gave the options of 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, 100,000. What do you think? I've been to 16 shows. I have all the like a shit ton of merch.
I would say 100.
I would say 10.
100.
Because you got to include the tattoos too.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
I
mean,
didn't think
no, the
about the
tattoos
tattoos.
was cheap. This was like 600 and like,
Oh, okay.
but it's
Wait,
like
100,000?
100,000 because
Sheesh.
okay, the concerts I'm going to right now, like what you don't realize is K-pop stands, they have fucking money.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's
They
why
have
I was
hella
gonna
money.
ask. I'm like, you keep going to these concerts, and I see it. I'm like, yo, the tickets are expensive,
Yeah,
you know, and
like-
it adds up.
Like
not
the
just
ones
that.
I'm going to right now, it's $1,000 each.
Yeah.
Because now they've learned about the Ticketmaster is doing this thing called platinum pricing. So it's like the more people that click on it, it drives up the price. So
It's like
originally,
the stock market.
yeah, like originally the price I think for my ticket was like some people got it for $200. I paid $1,100 for it, and I bought 4 tickets.
That's insane.
Yeah, not including airfare, not including anything, and like the K-pop industry, I think the people who run BTS, they just know how to make money because there's 7 members.
Yeah.
And then have you heard about photo cards?
No.
No.
What's that?
Wow. So like when you buy an album, there's like a random photo card. It's a picture of like one of the members in the CD. So if you want to draw your member, you have to buy like 10 albums.
Oh, this
so
is
it's
like
like
fucking
maybe
trading
get-
cards.
yeah.
or
No, it's like Cracker Jack.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cracker
People
Jack.
Just
like,
to get
fuck.
that, and like I know people who have bought like hundreds of albums just to get their bias and like stuff like that, and they sell the photo cards. But to me, I'll be like, I'll just buy 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And if
I
I don't
mean-
get my bias, whatever.
I think that
That's-
level of obsessiveness
wow.
Yeah.
goes really far. I remember, so one of my friends, Steph, she's also, insane about K-pop. She
Yeah.
always talks about it all the time and how it comforts her. And she has a group of friends who they all go see all these shows.
Yeah.
And she was telling me one time that during COVID, some fans would pay, I forget whether it's EXO or BTS, but they're paying to hop on like FaceTime, like $25,000 for like 5 minutes.
I
to-
might
to
do
talk
that.
to them.
I could possibly do that.
Oh God! Holy crap! Okay, so there's one thing I gotta ask, right? So you said you spent over $100,000 on BTS alone. Right? So I gotta ask you. Obviously, you're successful enough to like be able to afford it, right? How did you justify spending that much? Or what was your
don't.
first big purchase?
You really don't.
Are you trying not to rationalize
No, I
it?
don't. Like to me, like I have this big thing about FOMO, like, and I live by this theory, or I'm not even theory, the saying like money, you can always make money again. But like, when is BTS gonna have that same concert? Like, I'd rather just go and like make the money again versus missing out because like I would feel like shit. And like my mom she's always like, "You're going to the same concert again?" I'm like, why would I not want to relive the best day of my life like 16 times? Like, if you put it that way, there's no money you can put on it.
Yeah, true.
So like whatever it costs, it doesn't matter. I'm buying it. Like the concerts I'm at right now, they told us when the tickets were going to be released, and these are like now that the fandom is so big, it's so hard to get. And I had a pre-sale code and everything. But then I was like, you know what? I'm already booking my hotel and my flight. Like I didn't even have a ticket or anything. I was like, there's no way I'm not going.
You're probably committed, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, there's just no way I'm not going.
You said that there's no cap to the price,
No.
and you mean that.
And I
100%.
mean that.
Wow. So you'll let it like ruin you.
It has ruined me. It
My
really,
life is ruined.
it really has ruined me. Because then I'll like say it to other people. Because like my friends are like, I'm gonna go to one show. I'm like, you don't want to go to 4? I'm like, you don't want to go to all of them? They're like, no, like my credit card's maxed out. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh. I'm like, okay. I was like, I get it, but at the same time, I'm like, money can always be made. I'm like the little devil on their shoulder. Money can always be made, but I'm like, they're all going to the military soon. Like, we're not gonna have BTS for like a year and a half. Like.
And
But
you don't
then-
know, you never know what happens to you. so-
Exactly. And I'm like, but then what I realize is when they come back, there's really no like thing hanging over them from ever stopping to have concerts again. So I'm like, I'm really going to be broke by then, unless I just have like kids or something that I have to spend money on. But also that's maybe another reason.
Yeah,
Because
okay.
like, since I don't have kids or anything, I'm like living freely, just like doing whatever. Yeah.
So let me ask you, what would justify you stopping other than kids?
I mean, I don't even know if a kid would stop me.
Oh, yeah.
She's there with her baby.
Maybe they
like,
did something to where, like, say BTS got canceled or something.
Oh, okay.
Then maybe I'll be like, nah, okay, I'm not really seeing the vision anymore. Then maybe I would stop. But I don't see them doing that. They're just so wholesome.
Do you feel like BTS fans could be probably the top level of fandom as far as like obsessive goes.
Yes.
Yeah, because you know how Taylor Swift tried to have that concert. It was like one of her tickets was $99,000 or something like that. Yeah, and I was like, who the hell would pay for that?
Yeah.
But then the way you're sounding, like it sounds
Yeah.
like you would pay for that.
Yeah.
If it was BTS.
Yeah. So like when they had their Vegas shows, I bought 8 tickets, and I was gonna sell some of it, and I priced one at like $100,000 just for kicks. But then no one bought it. But like some people were buying it for like 10 grand at least.
I think I found my new career.
Yeah, a ticket scalper.
That's like the ultimate one right
know.
there.
But you'd have
Yeah.
to pay to be part of Army first.
Yep. You have
Wait,
to, be
what?
part of
You
the,
get
you have to be
pre-sale.
part of the
So they have to pay to be
membership.
part of Army.
Wait. So it's not something I can't
No.
be
No.
on me right now. If
No.
I like
No, you could basically, the tickets sell out before they even get to general sales. So you have to buy the Army membership, which is just like $25 a year.
Yeah.
I thought Army was just something that you coined yourself.
No.
Like
No.
I'm
No.
BTS Army.
No,
no,
it's
you have
their
to. It's a
fandom.
membership.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
They get exclusive stuff to
We
like
do.
like all
They
this.
send us like exclusive photos and things like that. But
So it's like OnlyFans, but like through,
like we wish.
yeah.
As hard as Dan, you would wish.
would that crash the internet if you
It would.
really?
Like
Wow.
just recently, Jungkook was named the ambassador of Calvin Klein. That shit crashed the internet.
The what?
Of Calvin Klein.
The master? You
No,
said?
ambassador.
Oh, ambassador.
So like if you go around, Jungkook has his like shirt lifted up with Calvin Klein underwear, like they're like making BTS is making so much money for all these brands. Like
That's insane.
their pull is crazy.
Do you? So there's one thing I kind of want to talk about, being that you're a female fan, right? So I've noticed that there are a lot of female fans now that are not Asian. Mm-hmm. Right, and I've noticed this for a long time. I'm not just talking about BTS, but I'm talking about like the Korean
Yeah.
culture in general.
Dude, Mexico loves BTS.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? The top 2 like Smash players right now, they always put like K-pop names in as their tag. I'm just like, whoa, that's insane. They'll listen to K-pop while they're playing. It's crazy.
Sometimes I wonder if they just do it for clout though.
I don't think those guys do. They're gamers. They
Oh,
don't
okay.
care, you know. But no, the reason why I was saying that was because I have a friend who we went to this party like probably 10 plus years ago, and there was this white girl who was like, he's Korean, right? But there's this white girl who's like, oh my god, do you like watch K-pop? Or sorry, K-drama? Do you listen to K-pop? And he was like, yeah. And he's like one of the most like self-hating Korean people, right? So he definitely does not.
Yeah,
But he was like, yes, I do. Yeah, of course. You know, I love that show, blah, blah, you know? And she was like, okay, well, I think you're really hot then because of that. And it wasn't even his only the only
No.
girl that he got with because of that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, are there guys who pretend to be fans to kind of like intersect like these women
Yeah,
who are
there
huge?
are. There are.
You've seen that?
I've seen it. I've been in it.
What? Wait, whoa. What do you mean?
This is I don't know. I'm scared now.
Say it.
Like I think what I noticed the trend on TikTok. So like a lot of people, like a lot of guy creators, they'll start using BTS music in their TikToks, and then all the BTS fans will be like, "Oh my god, like you're a BTS fan. I'm gonna start following you now." And then come
New
to
strategy.
realize it's like, yeah, I'm like, you don't even follow BTS. Like you act like you're Army or something, but you really aren't.
Wow.
But then you're using BTS to get you the followers. Because to me, I'd be the same way where I'm like, all right, you told me, oh, I like this BTS song. I'd be like, oh my god, I'm more interested now because we have something in common. And like you like something that I love so much. Like I don't even care anything else about you, but like the fact that you just like BTS fake love, I'll be like done. And like I just posted this little meme yesterday where it's just like, oh, you like BTS? Here, sit right here on my bed. Like that's all it takes. It's like BTS is just like it's an easy pickup line.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It really
And
is.
some guys abuse that.
A lot of guys abuse that.
Wow.
Have you experienced that personally?
Yes, I have, but I can't talk about it. Because it makes me irritated and like I don't want it to get out.
Just listen to BTS after. It'll calm you down.
Yeah, it gets a little messy.
Ooh, that sounds even better.
I know. Maybe part 2 of the podcast.
I think she needs a drink.
I need that thing where it just blurs out your face and it does the voice changer.
Oh yeah, we've done that.
And then I'll tell the whole story. Yeah. No, I'm scared.
We've done that before. Yeah. Oh my god.
But yeah, no, like guys do that.
Because I'm wondering now, obviously having something in common as far as like the music interest is one thing, but what if a guy is dressing as a member? You know, like you said there's a female fan that had the guy's hair, right? Imagine if like a male does that in order to kind of engage like women.
I keep imagining you with like the hoop earrings and stuff with like the hair.
But imagine if you did, like it just attracts this new aesthetic of girls who are like, ooh, he's kind of like into the K-pop stuff. I kind of like that. Like if you fit the aesthetic, they're into it.
Wow, that's
see you with the Peter.
I'll never.
What color would you dye his hair?
I feel like if anything, I would just grow it out longer. You can still keep it black, but maybe like grow the front out a little bit longer and just like. A lot of people, girls like guys with textured hair now. That's why you're seeing a lot of guys with perms and things like that. Like, I think it's just a vibe now.
Yeah. A lot of my friends have gone perms.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Oh. Yeah. Danny gets perms all the time. Even my brother got a perm. Joel got a perm.
Yep. It's like not like your old, like a traditional. Some people, they do that super curly perm, or they'll do like that K-pop perm.
Yeah.
Where it's just like more lifted. But that. Even the really curly perm is in.
Because that's why I'm wondering if like these guys are, maybe I'll ask my friends later, if these guys are doing it because they think it looks good on them, or if they're like, this is going to get me the bitches,
Sometimes, like.
Probably both.
Yeah, exactly. I can't really tell either. Because I know, like, say, like before I started standing BTS, the way I used to dress was different too. Like I used to just dress kind of like, from Target, like the regular casual clothing. But now I'm like, I just want edgy. I don't like I mainly wear black and like olive green. I don't really wear colors anymore because like that's the BTS kind of like aesthetic where it's like a little bit more like utilitarian, kind of a little bit more like cargo pockets.
Yeah, army stuff.
Yeah. And so even like at the concerts, everyone's kind of dressed like that. Like you turn from like a nerd into like this like hardcore, like edgy person.
Wow.
It's like your aesthetic changes too. So I don't know if that's the same thing for guys. Like all of a sudden they go from just being a nerd into like having the dangling earrings, the cool hair.
Honestly, I do believe in general, like maybe not with BTS, but in general, guys do dress for women also, like very much so. Like typically there are the dudes who are like just complete nerds, and then they have the glow up, which just means that now they dress and they do their hair differently. And it's for like, this is like the idea that women enjoy the look. Yeah, and maybe it's just me, but like I tend to stray away from that. I'm just like, I just kind of want to do things the way I want to do it. And usually people will be like, why'd you cut your hair? Or why did you grow it out? So there's gonna be a hater for everything. So I'm just like, I'm just gonna do me because you can't please everyone. With your look. So like I'm starting to see it more now because these things that are getting popularized, everyone knows about it because everything's going viral now, right? You know what the next look is, right? You have like, was it the e-boy look that was popular like a year or two ago? Right? That's kind of like soft also, right?
Yeah.
And then now I'm seeing like a lot more Asian guys look like BTS.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas before, like they weren't comfortable doing that.
Nah, you kidding?
But it's like, yeah, because you don't want to look a little foo-foo. But now all of a sudden, like everyone has the long hair with the perm, and it's a thing. And the dangly earrings. All of a sudden, it's not a bad thing.
I think you can pull it off, Peter. With
I
the
know.
dangly earrings.
Even if I
see
could pull it off, I would
Is
rather
it a
not.
millennial thing and a Gen Z thing, you think?
To what?
To like where, because I feel like guys, because I'm a millennial, like guys from my generation, they're more like, I want to look comfortable. Like, I want to look cozy. Like, I don't really care how I look. But then Gen Z's so into their looks. They want to have their perm. They want to have, like, the vibe. But, like, millennials are just all about being comfortable.
I feel like that's a very fine line, though, because, like, it
and
really
maybe it's
depends.
a judgment, I think,
from
other guys.
I think it depends on the person, too. Like, I've always been a person where I just don't really care about what people think about the way I look, as long as I enjoy it,
Yeah.
And I'm always like changing the way I look most of the time. Like I don't stick to one thing. I don't fit in like a box. One day I could be like street, another day I could be like a hipster. It's just how I feel. Like I remember one time I had like a beard, and then the next day I had like a pencil stash and like a polo button up. My hair was like done. Everyone's like, "What the hell?"
Little porn stash.
Yeah, like, literally. And people were like, "You just look like a hipster French guy." I had like a camera on me and stuff like that. But I'm like, that's just how I felt for the day. And hair grows back, so I'm like, whatever. It just doesn't really matter.
I just feel like guys are just sometimes more afraid to experiment
I can see that.
because judgment from other dudes.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's judgment from other dudes because I think judgment from other dudes kind of bounce off me now. Because I'm like, all right, why do I care about what you think about the way I look? It's like, I'm not fucking you. Like, what the hell?
Your jacket's ugly.
Because like what we were talking about before, where I'm like, there's so many guys that I know that would want to experience hair color and stuff, but then they're just like, oh, I don't want my. Not to say like, because like they'll be like, oh, that's gay. Guy, like people from our generation would say that.
Oh, yeah.
And then that's what turns them off from doing it. But I'm like, what? You don't want to look like a 10? Like you look so good with the color. It's just, but they're just so afraid because they don't want the judgment from their own peers that they're like, what are you doing? Like even my own siblings, like I color one of my brother's hair blue, and then the other one's like, oh, like you're looking a little interesting. And then he did the same thing too after he saw how good it looked.
Yeah.
So it's like.
I see that. I see
like
that.
a little bit of judgment.
Yeah.
No, I see that because like, I've thought about like dyeing my hair, just like, oh, that was cool, but never like, oh, I want to do it. It's more like, oh, that'd be interesting. But at the same time, I'm like, one, I'm like, might be a little foo-foo.
Yeah.
Two, I'm like, man, I feel I'm a little too old for this. Like, I can't experiment. Like, I'm like, in a different stage of my life, too. Or if I was younger, like, maybe...
Like, would it be too loud?
Yeah, and I don't like loud. I like less. I like quiet.
So dark gray, not silver. There's something for everyone. Yeah, that's how it works. Yeah. Like, if you want to be loud... And this is how I kind of explain to my clients. I'm like, do you want Playmate blonde or do you want, like, gray? And they're like, yeah, I don't want to be all blonde, so I'm going to do the regular gray. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Playmate blonde.
That
just means loud.
What is Playmate?
Like... Playboy Playmate, like like bleach blonde versus like
Kendra
an ash, like a nice
chicks.
like ash blonde where it's like a little bit more silvery, so it's not as loud. But
one of our friends, he's been dyeing his hair for a while.
Yeah,
he for
blonde, pink. He has a perm now.
Yeah,
he does.
See?
Matt, you're talking about?
I don't know he had perm.
Yeah, his perm looks good.
Like what I realized about guys is like hair is it's the biggest game changer.
Oh yeah,
really?
for sure.
Yeah, and like there's even this other meme that I used to live by where it's like, it's a crush when they have a bad haircut and you don't like them anymore, which is true. Because like I remember there's this guy that I really liked, and then like he was so cute, and then all of a sudden he buzzed his hair. I was like, huh, okay, never mind, I'm not into you anymore.
Do you feel like you have like a hair fetish or hair
not even
kink? Or
I don't know. Like,
from the beginning, like even when you talk about BTS, it was like hair this, hair that.
Yeah.
And maybe it's the job too, but it's also like you feel more.
I think the hair is what makes the person. That's why. Like some people are like, oh, like if you don't have good makeup on, but your hair looks good, it's a thing. But I'm like, no, if you have bad hair, but good makeup is like, no, the hair is what like makes the whole aura.
So if you're bald, you're no longer a person then.
You're a person, but you just didn't. It's like, I don't know why, but I could just see the potential in someone's look.
Oh.
Yeah. See, silver.
What about, should I cut it? Should I buzz it?
Like, if you did silver and, like, comb the bangs all the way down, did that straight, like, cut, like, it's edgy.
Whoa.
But,
that's,
like,
do it, Mario.
have you seen
Do
that?
it.
It's like the bangs are, like, the little baby bangs. Like,
do it, Mario.
That would be, like, a whole different you.
Like,
but,
straight bang?
yeah, but he would turn into a monster, seeing how good he'll look. And that's what I do to dudes.
Do it, Mario. Do it.
You know what's the funny thing? There's only one hairstyle that I do not like on women.
What?
It's the straight bangs. Like that's
I got those right now. Damn.
No, you
they're
don't.
tucked away.
No, you don't.
They are.
No, it's the
lazy.
rockabilly ones.
Oh,
you know the ones where it's
the
like
baby bangs.
Yeah, where it's cut like this. It's the only one where I'm like, man, like it's so hard to find you attractive. That's the only one.
But if Lisa had it, you'd be like, she fucking
That's
rocked
different.
it.
That's different.
It's like you have to be able to pull it off too.
Yeah, you have to be able to pull it. I've seen maybe one girl in my life pull it off and won it, but almost always I'm like, that's the one hairstyle. I'm like, I'm like, even bald is better for me. Like I just, something about it just looks weird to me.
I used to know like the bangs that are like straight across right here, but then I saw Kill Bill and there's like that one chick in there.
Uma Thurman?
No, the
Asian
one?
girl.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I was like, damn. I'm not sure if it's your hair or the fact that you look toxic that I'm into. But
it's the vibe. See, it's the hair.
You're
it's
right.
the hair.
When she went off killing people, I was like, damn, that's kind of hot. Like, Jesus
Exactly.
Christ.
Like she
It's
looks
weird.
edgy.
Yeah, you kind of tread that fine line between dangerous and like, good girl.
I'm telling you, it's all about the hair. People don't realize how important it is, but like
No,
you
I
can elevate
definitely-
a look and you get a bad haircut, blow down.
Yeah. No, I definitely know 100% because up until I think I was when I was a 7th grader, I used to have a bowl cut, like straight up bowl cut.
Yeah.
Like people were just friends with me because I was like the funny kid or whatever, right? But no girls came up to me because they thought I was like cute at all. Nothing like that. And then I met a friend who he was like the the kid with like the spiky hair, and he always wore like this sling backpack, and he had like sagged his pants with
The
like
Asian boy.
the Asian dragon,
Asian dragon XX.
Exactly.
exactly. He was like, Peter, bro, you gotta get a haircut, bro. We're gonna do like a makeover. Literally, complete makeover.
Wow.
Like,
Yeah.
I used to
You
go.
need that sometimes, though.
Yeah, but I was a kid. I didn't know. I was a nerdy ass kid playing video
Yeah.
games. I didn't think anything about women at all, you know. So I would just go to school with like the white like polo button up with short shorts up to here and like the long white socks, you know, and the bowl cut. And people would just make fun of me, but I didn't care. I was like, "Fuck you guys! I'm gonna play video games."
Yeah.
And then that summer, from summer of 7th grade to 8th grade, like I cut my hair spiky. I wore like. He was like, "Oh yeah, you gotta wear like baby blue shirts, like girls like baby blue." You know, so like, baby blue shirts.
They did like baby blue.
I went to like Old Navy and like bought like the baggy pants, and I got the Honda belt thing with like the long ass.
Oh my
fucking,
God,
yeah.
that looked like a seatbelt.
Yeah, it looked like a seatbelt.
Yeah.
Yep. And then I would
God,
sag
that's
my pants like
throwback.
to a ridiculous amount, like almost to my knees. And then like that year, like all my friends probably were like, "Is that Peter? Like, oh, he looks kind of cute now." And then
Yeah.
girls started approaching me.
Dude.
Then I started getting girlfriends, and I was like, "What is going on?"
the vibe.
It's so weird.
I had the same experience.
Really?
I had this almost the same experience. Shout out to Daron and Cherry.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because Cherry cut my hair. I was in sophomore year, and I grew out my hair. I was just long and untamed, and like it was for me. It was around the time where emo and scene started to become a thing, and he basically we went to his house right there in Santa Ana. It was my first time meeting his brother, John's brother, and he just...
Which one, Cherry?
Cherry, yeah. And he started punching some ice bags. Like, yeah, I'll cut your hair. Just breaking these ice bags with his fists. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, super intimidated.
Yeah.
I was like, all right. And he basically just, like, had scissors and a razor, and he just, like, did the thing, like, you know? And I remember going to school the next day, and it was, like, the bangs, you know, like the choppy bangs. And I also had like the mullet too. And it was so different from like anything else. It was me and Daron were the only people who had that hairstyle like in the whole entire school.
I remember that.
First people who ever had it there, you know, first people who had scene or emo hair.
Yeah.
And like the girls were all like, "I love your hair," like blah, blah. And the guys would like make fun of me.
Exactly.
You know, I got like, I remember a few haters like in the middle of class from me. He's like, "Take your hood down. We can all see your hair." Blah, blah. And I was like, damn, all right, fuck you.
Exactly.
But then like, I ended up getting so much more attention from women. I was like, oh, okay.
You know,
and I was like, all right. And it was the same thing. Like, I was like, it totally like changed from like, I hadn't really, I'd had some attention from women, but not that much.
Yeah.
But when I got the hair and then I started dressing different, I had like, you know, it was the scene, like I had tight shirts, tight pants, like everything. And I was
Skinny
like,
jeans.
Yeah, the skinny jeans, my girlfriend's jeans, you know.
With
like,
the studded belt.
Yeah, with the studded belt, the Volcom studded belt.
Yeah, there you
Yes.
go. Yep, there you go. Hot Topic, everything.
It was Hot Topic.
Or Spencer's.
PacSun too. They had some stuff.
What's the Tilly's?
Tilly's,
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, it completely changed it.
Do you think with guys, you need that outside to be influenced to be like, hey, we're going to switch up your look?
Yeah.
Because maybe you just can't do it for yourself or you don't have the courage to do it. But when
100%.
someone shows you, you're like,
100%.
okay, now I can do it.
100%.
Yeah, it's like I think other people need to unlock your potential. Like you maybe know that you need to break out of it, but when someone else tells you, you're like, okay, I'm down with it.
Yeah. You telling me right now, I'm like,
Do it, bro.
right
Do
here,
it.
dark.
Yeah, like silver, and then you like pull the bangs out and cut it super short. I don't know what it's called, but it's just like hella edgy.
You cut the bangs, you put them up?
No, you pull them down and they're just super straight. And you wear
Oh,
them
it's like
down.
the Peso Pluma.
Maybe. Maluma had that haircut.
Yeah, Maluma has it. Peso Pluma
Yes.
has it. But Peso Pluma has it kind of like that, but he's got the mullet. And then
Do it without the mullet.
Yeah, without the mullet
I
for
hear
sure.
the mullet is out now. Like that was in the wolf cut was hot for a while, but
That was
I
really
hear it's-
fast.
Yeah, I heard it's kind of going out. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so. It's funny because like I was so more experimental when I was younger.
Yeah, you
Now-
were.
Yeah, now I'm just like, okay, I just kind of know what works. So I stick to
Yeah.
the same thing. But like, I wouldn't mind like switching up. I just have no idea. Like, I recently just cut my hair because I didn't cut my hair for like half a year because I do it like every wedding. That's kind of like my reason to like clean up.
Yeah.
So I cut for the wedding. But when I went to my barber, he was like, "How would you like your cut?" I was like, "I have no idea."
Yeah.
So he was just like, "Oh, you want me to just like clean up a bit?" And that's basically all he did.
You just don't want to like maintain a style.
It's not that I don't want to maintain a style. I just don't. I'm not very good with keeping up with the trends, and not also not understanding whether people are complimenting it because it's a trend at the time or whether or not it actually looks good on me. You know, now that I look back, you know, for instance, like now I look back at the spiky hair part, I'm like, I legit would like spike.
Dude,
like,
yeah,
I was like, that shit was spiky.
That
like,
shit-
Yeah.
I remember I went for like the most volume, you know, like the way I would style my hair back, ridiculous, dude. Like being in 8th grade when I first learned it, I was like, oh, the bigger the hair, the more bitches. I was like, cool. So what I would do is I would like get this gel that would get the
La Bella.
nice- was it
the
Bella, I think
La Bella? Yeah, La Bella. La Bella.
yeah.
That's I knew it.
It was like the blue one.
It was the blue one.
It was like $1.
It looked
Yeah.
like what's the
Like slime.
yes?
Yeah.
It looked like slime.
Yeah, and then I would take it and I would buy hairspray, and then I remember I would just put like gel all over my hair and like I would tilt my head down so that the hair would just extend out, and I would hairspray and then blow dry it like
Yeah.
every morning
Yep,
before
every
school.
morning.
But
Just
it was
make
the
sure.
look.
It was the look, and that's what I'm saying. Like now, I'm like that was kind of ridiculous. And was it really because
Yeah.
it was good looking, or was it because the
Did
trend?
you get bitches?
I did. I
See,
did.
then it looked good.
I used to straighten my hair every morning because my hair is naturally
Yeah,
curly.
yeah.
So I had long
You
hair.
strained your hair.
Yeah.
I had to, yeah, I
to
had
get
to
the
straighten my
emo
hair.
look, you gotta like
That's true, that's
crisp
true.
Yeah.
it out.
To make it look like I had bed head, like, you know, I had to like straighten it like
Yeah.
this, boom, boom, boom. I had the little like, you know, mullet and everything too.
Yeah.
Like it was upkeep every morning.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that again.
Okay.
But
So now-
don't you just feel good once you get a fresh haircut though, and
You
then
do
you're
feel
like
good
you
when you
like
get a
I do.
feel like you own it. So it's I do know guys who are the same with you where they just get the haircut when they go to an event, and I'm like, dude, you could be looking good this whole time.
Yeah.
But what takes you to get to that point is like an event, a funeral or
Yeah.
something. I'm like,
well,
funeral.
I used to cut my hair
Yes.
all the time.
Yeah.
Like I used to cut my hair like every week or 2 weeks, so very frequently. And I just felt like it's been what maybe like a year and a half or 2 since I stopped doing that. So it was constant maintenance before. But the reason why I stopped doing it is because I was like, okay, well I wear a hat anyways most of the time, and I'm not here to like impress anyone, so it's okay. You know, that's the way I thought about
Impress
it.
yourself.
I do. I think I look
Ooh,
fine
I like that.
in a
Yeah.
hat. That's the way I see
Yeah.
it. You know, I'm just like, oh, I look fine. I don't need to spend time doing it.
What if you just
so-
had this clean taper with a hat?
I don't know. I feel like
Yeah,
the
you just
times
look
where
clean.
I've gone the clean taper, because when I wear beanies, especially if it's too clean, it looks like I'm just bald when I wear the beanie.
Yeah, that's fine. But you
Yeah.
still have the hair. I do that. That's how mine looks usually. Like I usually have this
Yeah,
very
see,
clean.
like that.
Yeah.
It just looks clean.
and it's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
right here, you know?
And then he
Yeah.
takes off his hat, and you're like, "Oh, damn! I didn't even know you were hiding that silver hairstyle." In
What do you think as a hairstylist, since you have good taste, I could tell, is a classic look for guys, like timeless, you know? Because now we're talking about trends, like you were talking about the wolf cut, talking about now like the K-pop BTS look.
Yeah.
What's a look that you feel like never goes away?
I feel like right now BTS is rocking a lot of like the timeless looks. It's that like split down the middle, kind of just like a little bit of volume, kind of like Leonardo DiCaprio from back in the day, where he just looks like fresh.
Like Growing Pains, Leonardo.
Yes, like just really effortless. Kind of like you just ran your hand through your hair, and you're just like that good-looking guy next door. But it needs like a little bit of volume. You have to have I think you might have to have a symmetrical face for it, but you have to have good hair.
Yeah, yeah.
Like right now, your hair, I feel would be perfect for that. You just need a little bit of
it,
volume.
Peter, show it off.
Yeah, show them your hair.
Yeah. Just,
Yeah, so you split it down the middle, like you just let it drop down your face a little bit, and then like let it hang.
oh,
That's the timeless look.
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what
And
you
like just keep the
consider.
same your natural color. And then I think just kind of clean up the sides, but like the length in the front.
So I was gonna ask you, how do you judge whether a person should color their hair or not? Like you're saying Mario should color his hair, but mine you're like, oh, keep it natural look.
I think it's just the vibe.
Huh.
Yeah, I feel like you could be really fun to where like if someone was like, oh my God, your hair is blue, you're like, yeah, it's blue, I love it. But then like because you're so like subdue a little bit, you want to kind of like blend in a little bit more. Like you could keep your color, but then your cut is what's gonna set it off.
Oh.
Yeah,
see
the
it.
cut and styling. So like keep it. I would keep the same haircut, maybe just style it differently, like wear it down, split it down the middle, but perm it so it's like has a little bit more texture because texture is in.
Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I don't know what texture means.
Texture, just like a perm. Like imagine like these little curls
Yeah.
on his hair,
Oh,
where it looks
okay.
like you kind of rolled out of your bed, but actually it's permed.
Because my hair's naturally wavy. So
Yeah.
like, do I still have
So
to
you
do-
probably don't need something like
Yeah,
that.
you don't
right?
need that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the little bangs will look good on you.
Yeah, that's why a lot of Asian guys get perms because a lot of Asian hair is like very
Maluma
straight.
bangs.
I'm going to do it.
You do it?
I'm going to do it.
I'm just
Really?
telling you, it's gonna unlock a monster. He's gonna be constantly looking in the mirror, like, let me check to
no.
see if my hair is good first. That's what happens when a guy colors
See,
their hair.
that's why I get worried about
Like
that.
I get so many guys. Like when I don't really do a lot of male clients because like they just have to come in so often that my schedule doesn't allow for it. So like I remember like I had this guy client and his hair was just brown, and then he was going through a breakup, and he's like, I think I want some highlights. So I'm like, all right, like that's kind of boring, but whatever. So I did it. I'm like, see, you need more. And so we decided to color his whole head silver. So we colored it silver, and then he messages me later. He's like, yeah, I couldn't stop looking at myself in the rear view. Like I almost crashed so many times coming home. I'm like, yeah, like you can't stop looking at yourself because you look like a 10 now. Like all of a sudden it just unlocks this new thing.
You helped him go through his bad bitch phase.
Yeah. No, I'm telling you, like guys, when they get their color for the first time, they're like so doubtful. They're like, I don't know what it's going to look like. But once they see it, they're like, damn.
What was your line?
You don't want to look like a 10?
Yeah, there we go. Clip that. Do you have a preference of clients that you like do for having women clients or men clients?
Right, not really a preference. I have a preference with guys only because like I like doing men's coloring.
Yeah.
And so like I just like when they need it cut, they have to come in like you said, like the maintenance of it is like every 3-4 weeks, and like my schedule doesn't allow for that because like my clients are booked out like 6 months, and yeah, so like the color then it's more creative with styling like. That's the only time I have really preference, but with my women clients, they all want the same thing. It's either the same thing, but silver, brown, or blonde. So there's not that much creativity to it anymore. It's just like autopilot for me. And then it's just like the conversation that makes it fun.
I was going to ask about that. So do you become friends with your clients?
It's so easy because I think, so I don't take any walk-ins or anything. So everyone, I call myself kind of like a modern hairstylist. So everyone finds me on Instagram, they book online. So they already follow me for a while, or they know of my social media presence or something. And that's what kind of draws them to me. Sometimes they'll just be like, oh, I saw that you're a BTS fan. That's why I want to come in. So like things like that will gravitate for them to come in. So when they come in, they already trust that they're going to get the good hair. And so they're so relaxed that all we do is talk shit the whole time. And I'm like, how am I getting paid to talk shit with you all day long? And like, I don't even know how it's a job.
Oh, you enjoyed that much?
Yeah. Literally, like,
I love
if
that.
the client is boring, I'm just like, God, I'm gonna go to the back and eat like my lunch or something. You process out here, but like sometimes I don't even leave them because the conversation is so interesting. And then even sometimes my assistant will be like, "Have you known this person for a long time?" I'm like, "No, I just met them today."
You're just vibing.
Yeah, exactly. And I think because that trust is there, they already kind of know me. But then it also goes the other way where they're like, "Oh my God, I've been following you for years," and I'm like, "What don't you know about me?" Yeah, so I'm just like, what do I catch you up on? Like, it's interesting.
Do you have stands too?
I think I do. So yesterday I went to the concert and
Stand gets stand.
I know. Like I went to the concert and I was just waiting for the crosswalk. So I was like, usually when I go, I just have AirPods in. I'm kind of vibing as I'm like going to the show. And then I get a DM later that night, and this girl, she's like, "Hey, I saw you at the sidewalk and I screamed your name. I don't know if you heard me." And I was just like, "Oh, I'm sorry." Like I was wearing AirPods. I didn't hear anything. And I'm like, I'm in LA. Like, how did you even find me? Like, I was wearing this with a hat, with a mask, but she still knew it was me.
Wow.
Yeah. I wonder the same thing too. So like, I'm like, I can't even imagine being famous where people just like see you and like, they're just like, look, it's you.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you have some kind of like therapeutic role when you have these clients that come in, you're talking to them for hours on end? Are you like giving them advice? Are you listening? Like, are you a girl that listens? You know?
To me, I listen, but then I give them the advice that's like aggressive advice.
Oh, what's that?
Yeah, you know how like some people are just like, "Oh, it'll be okay."
Oh.
I'm like, "No, go fucking do it. Like, stop making up excuses, just do it." And I think some people, they need that. Yeah. So I'm like that friend that you hate, but then you're like, she's right though.
Go get that blonde hair.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you know what's best for them. And so you'll tell them the hard truth. So yeah.
Do you ever get any crazy people coming in or anything?
We do. I think because like sometimes they just expect a lot because they see, again, like the presence online, they see your work, and then they'll be like, I want to come in, I want platinum blonde, no yellow, no nothing. I'm like, yeah, we can do that, but do you have like $5,000 to spend on it? And then they're like, oh, okay, actually, I'm okay with doing like dumbing it down a little bit. I don't need to spend $5,000. What can you do for like $1,000? So they have all these expectations. I think they try to almost bully me a little bit, but I'm like, I don't have to take you as a client either. Like, this is my salon. So I think they know their role pretty quickly. But nah, usually with crazies, I'll just be like, I don't feel comfortable doing your hair, so I'm not gonna do it. Yeah. I'm like, I'd rather take the L and like twiddle my fingers for the rest of the day than do this crazy person and have it end up with them not even liking it.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
a bad review, just
Yeah,
because you guys can't
exactly.
see eye to eye.
Exactly.
So
Because some people, it just all bottles down to them being unrealistic.
Yeah.
Like if you're realistic and you're like, okay, like it might be a little warm today, but like it's a process. And most of the time when they're realistic, it turns out exactly what they want. But when you come in so demanding, I'm like, you're annoying. Like your vibe is so, your energy is so bad. I don't even want to do you. Like,
Yeah, like
I don't
nothing's
even want
gonna
to
be
bestow
right.
this amazing hair on you. Like, go away.
You don't deserve it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, then you do it so good, they become a reoccurring client. No, like I don't want you to come back.
Yeah.
Because
You're
some
not
people
my-
are,
you're not
some
my
people
ideal
are just like
client.
really nasty.
Yeah.
Like they really are nasty and entitled. And like, I don't want that kind of client because I have so many that are so nice and so encouraging, like so positive. So it's like, why would I want to bend over backwards for like a bitch?
Exactly. I always say this because I've had a couple friends who spend a lot of time with friends who are just toxic or, significant others, but usually just friends. I'm like, why are you even friends with this person? It's like, well, I can help them out. I'm like,
Oh, no.
They sound like they don't even want your help.
Exactly.
So why don't you use that energy with someone who actually would seek your help and would
Yeah.
actually make good use of it? Because energy and time is something that you can't get back, and it's both limited, right? So
Exactly.
it could better be used somewhere else
Yeah.
instead of with this like
This
nutcase
burden.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you feel the weight of all their issues on your shoulders,
Yeah.
and it's like, why?
and it's always the same thing.
It is.
It's like,
Because they're not
damn.
going to take your advice and change. They just want to, you're just a soundboard to them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
There's here to vent, right?
Yeah,
It's just like
exactly.
cheaper therapy.
Exactly. It's like, how many times are you going to tell me about your boyfriend? How many times am I going to tell you to leave them? And you're still there. It's like,
Exactly.
you're not going to
So common.
change. Yeah. So I'm like, I don't care anymore.
Damn. So I know that you said that you're booked like 6 months out. You don't take walk-ins. So obviously you found like a level of success doing this, right? How long ago was it when you were still building up to that?
So like I started doing hair back in 2010, and when I first started doing it, I was living in DC, and I was just kind of like, oh, basic hairstylist. Like initially when I told my dad, I was like, oh, I'm going to hair school. He's like, if you ever become successful, I'm going to cut my ear off. And I was like, okay, like the fuck, because like in the Asian community, like there's not a lot of well-known hairstylists. It's just like that's kind of a job you just do. That's like a whatever job, like. Asian standards, you need to be a doctor or like lawyer or something. Yeah. And so he was like, if you ever get successful at that, I'm going to cut my ear off. I'm like, okay, whatever. But really, I was just using it as an excuse because I was dating this guy that lived in DC. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to tell my parents I'm going to school. They can't be mad that I'm here.
Yeah.
So I used that as an excuse to go to school. And then what I realized is I was like, oh, actually, I really like this. And I did hair over in DC for maybe like 5 years or so, but I was just doing like basic stuff, like taking walk-ins, working at like this like salon that did like a lot of military wives, things like that, super basic.
Oh, wow.
And then I was like, you know what? I don't see myself living here for a long time anymore. Like I want to be back with my family in Seattle. So I was like, you know what? I'd rather leave now and start all the way over versus staying here and continue to build clientele. And so I moved back here to Seattle like 2014, 15. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to reinvent myself. So I ended up finding a mentor who's like super popular. His name's Guy Tang. Like, I don't know if you guys know him, but he's like super big in LA. He's on Bling Empire now.
Oh, really?
But like, he's just a really, really amazing mentor. And he was able to make me understand color in a way that made sense to me. So,
How did you reach out to him?
actually, it was like, I saw one of his videos and basically he looks like Asian Superman, like hella buff, like ripped, but like Asian Superman with a V-neck. Like, yeah. And I was just like, oh my God, look at this Asian guy. He's doing like YouTube tutorials of balayage because that's what was like new at the time. It was like old, but new, but coming back. And I was like, I didn't learn that because like I was learning about all these hair foiling, but now balayage was in. And usually with Asian people, like when you bleach your hair, it's orange. But Guy Tang was able to make it blonde and smoky. And I was like, oh my God, like this is amazing. And at the time, he maybe only had a couple thousand followers. So I'd be like, oh my God, how'd you do this? Like, I really love your work. And I was just kind of like a fangirl over Guy Tang. And then we just became friends over that. And then all of a sudden, maybe like a couple months or like a year later, he ended up doing Michelle Phan's hair. And then he blew up into this huge mogul. Like, he's just really talented already. And I think with that, it just kind of taught me like, I need to do a social media presence. And I started making YouTube videos because I was like, oh, he kind of helped me. I want to help other people. And so I started making videos. And I think so when I came back to Seattle back in like 2015. I was like, I'm gonna go hard. I want to work with influencers. I basically want to be a mini Guy Tang. And I just used his like thing and kind of did the same thing. So like I reached out to, I think the first person I worked with, her name was Vivian. She basically was like a YouTuber with like over 1 million followers at the time. And she's like, I just want a haircut. And then the only reason why I got her was one of my clients met her at a nail salon. I was like, oh, my hairstylist, Cindy, could cut your hair. And so she came in, and then that kind of just got the ball rolling to where all her followers started coming to me. And then I started doing a bunch of other YouTubers. And then I think my 2-year mark back in being in Seattle, that's where the ball started rolling to where I started getting booked like 3 or 4 months. And I mean, sometimes you just have to be like, hey guys, I'm getting booked out. And it kind of just lights a fuel under people's ass where they're like, I need to book something.
Yeah.
But I think because I don't just kind of like what we were talking about earlier, where some people, they're like, well, why are you telling me about your life? You're a hairstylist. Like, why don't you just talk about hair? But I think because I talk about my life and they know who I am, they're more inclined to come to me because they already know they're going to get a good hair like style. But then they're like, I'm interested in you. Like, I feel like we could be friends or things like that. So it's like they already have this connection to you to where they want to come in. Because like if I'm basing it off on just hair in general, there's like millions of great stylists. Why would you come to see me? But we have this connection of BTS or like K-pop. And just like how you're saying about your stylist, like he's hella funny that you'll wait an hour to go see him. And it's because of the connection. Like you go there, you feel like you're at home.
That's
so
true.
It's just the vibe that you get that you can't really get somewhere else.
That's true. I had a barber out here. He was like the hood barber. And then he like took out of his neighborhood and has his own shop. And you go there and it just feels like you're with your homies.
Yeah.
He'll be like, here's a couple of beers, you know.
Exactly.
Even when there's like an hour or two wait, I was chill there
Like,
and
I
just
don't
have a
care.
couple of
Yeah.
drinks and kick in. We just talk about stuff. And the wait would go by fast. And I would go to the ones where like the barber's just very popular. No interaction though. Just sit there. No one talks. They're just on their phone.
Yeah.
And it just feels like a struggle. I'm just like, oh my God,
Exactly.
am I next yet? And then
Yeah.
even when I'm there, if there's no conversation, at least for me, I fall asleep like very easy. So like I'll be in the barber chair. If it's like boring, I'll just like literally doze off, which I'm always thinking in my head when I'm waking up. I'm like, oh crap, part of my hair is like missing or something
Yeah.
like that. And I'm like, oh, I'd just rather go to a place I enjoy.
Exactly. So, because it's like some people, they want that combo of like, oh, I don't want to talk to anyone, like just do my hair. But then when you find the combo of like someone who does your hair well and you enjoy their company, their presence, then it's like the perfect combo.
Yeah, especially a barber or a stylist that could feel where you're at with your energy. Like there are days that I would go there hungover, and I'm like, I don't really want to talk.
Yeah.
And he'll carry the conversation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then when he's hungover, I'll carry the conversation.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, it's a good dynamic. You
I
know?
think it's just, you know, they care about you.
Yeah,
and that's
yeah.
what makes you come back.
Yeah, true,
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, like I'll have like clients that come back and I'm like, oh, you're processing. Here's like our snack cart. Like I don't have to provide snacks. I don't have to
Yeah.
provide anything. But I'm like, here you go. And then they just feel like they're at home. Like it wasn't until one of my other mentors, he's like, do you know you provide this experience that you don't even know that you're doing, but it just makes everyone feel like they're coming to see their friend and they leave happy. And it's like they would never even have that thought to see someone else anymore.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
true. It sounds like very sound business advice overall.
Yeah.
That's not even like a salon
Yeah.
thing. That
Yeah.
sounds like great advice.
Yeah, you feel like family. Like what you're about the podcast. You come in like strangers,
Yeah, yeah.
leave as friends.
Leave a
So
friend.
we live the same motto.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like we want everyone to feel welcomed, and I think sometimes people don't understand, especially when it comes to business, how far that it goes. You know, like a lot of my clients, because I do mortgages on the side, come to me because they enjoy my presence and they want to go
Yeah.
and grab a drink or a meal.
Yeah.
So it's like super cool. But then there are also people who are just like straight numbers and they just want to
Yeah.
get done.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, I had a client where he was like a pain in the ass. It's probably one of my biggest deals. Like that was gonna make me a year's worth of money. Like it was one client. But I was like, this guy's at first I almost sold my soul. Not gonna lie, right? He was like a doctor. He cheated on his wife. He was going through a divorce, so he had to take like millions out of his house in order to pay off his wife, which he was like talking mad shit on and just kind of like misogynistic too. But I would just kind of like bite my tongue and be like, oh yeah, of course I got you, blah, blah. But I was,
Sometimes you have to.
yeah, but in my mind I was like, damn, I don't like this guy, but cha-ching.
Exactly.
So I just kept it going as long as I could. And then it got to the point where he was like bitching at me about stuff. And I was like, you know what? like, I don't need your business.
Yeah.
You go, hopefully someone else can help you out because I'm definitely not helping you
Yeah.
out. And I just heard all the money kind of like wash away in my head. I was like, holy shit. It was such a big deal. But, you know, to me, I was so stressed out.
Yeah.
There was like a couple months I was helping out. I was just like, this is not worth it to me.
Yeah. No, your peace of mind.
Yeah. Yeah, very, very much so. I was like, oh, I'll just do 10 clients and then, 10 easy clients and I'll be chilling.
Yeah.
Like, why do I have to deal with this one pain in the ass client? And if he comes back to me, just like how your case was, like, oh, I don't want that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to get over with,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like nowadays, like I get triggered so easily just from a DM. Like someone would DM me and be like, when's your next appointment? It literally says next opening is October. I'm like, that's a red flag. If you not read that,
right.
I'm like, I don't even care about your $600. Like, go away. Like you cannot read. Like, how can we do a consultation? Like, that's just the first red flag. I'm like, ignore. Like, all these people are like, here's my money. I'm like, go away. Like, if you can't read it, like, that's just I don't know. That's a red flag to me.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
It's like the easiest things that they can't follow, and you're like, oh,
Exactly.
You already know the process is gonna be a pain in the ass.
Exactly. Like, read. If you can't read, that's a red flag.
You can't read.
Like,
Get someone to read for you.
Yeah. So it's like, how are you going to understand a consultation? How are you going to understand hair theory?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that sounds complicated, but I
Yeah.
can imagine it's more complicated for someone who can't read or won't be willing to read.
yeah,
right?
I think a lot of people, they're just like so entitled nowadays. Like, instead of looking up for themselves, they want you to handhold them all the time. I'm like, bro, go look it up. Like, I can't. So it's like, if you're a hand-holding client, I can't.
Yeah.
Cause like, or they'll be like, oh, how can I book an appointment? I'm like, it says book link right here. Like, I make it so easy for them to book, but they'll be like, can you book it for me? And I just ignore.
Oh my God, that's the worst.
Yeah, it's like I make it so easy.
Yeah. But I mean, at the early stages, that's kind of what you have to do, right? Like
No.
early on, you're like, really? Even
No.
the early
Even-
stages?
When you started,
even,
no?
Yeah, even at the beginning, I'm like, I don't want to like, because nowadays a lot of the stylists are independent, so they have their own little studio at like a place, and then like a lot of the requirements are like, okay, if you want to be my client, you need to tell me your 5-year hair history, send me back and front photos, and then tell me what your hair goal is. Like, hell no. As a client, I would not do that. I want to just book an appointment and go in. Like, that sounds like a whole process, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So, like, for me, I just put the general services down. You book it. If you book it wrong, we might not be able to do it. But, like, I'd rather you just come in and let me do your hair. I don't want to already know all this information to where it's so daunting that I'm like, God damn it, I'm about to do a color correction today. Like, it's going to be so bad. But I just do it so that I don't have to have a wait list of people. Like, imagine you have to funnel all these people through like the wait list and then try to figure out if they work for you. Like, I just let you book it online. Like, it's easier that way. And if you can't book it yourself, like, I can't help you.
So do you only book one client a day then?
No, like I book, I probably see like 5 to 8 people a day.
Oh, okay. But you don't know how long it's going to take, right?
I do. I've gotten really good at my timing. So like, an average person for like a full transformation, probably 4 hours.
Full transformation.
Yeah. So
How
like
much-
I'll do like one after, like I block out like an hour time and I'll put the next person hour.
Got
so
it.
they're kind of like, because I don't want to just sit there and twiddle my fingers because I get bored. And I have an assistant who helps me too. So it makes it easier.
So when you say full transformation, what does that entail?
Like black to blonde, black to silver, like something like that. Like Asian. Basically, I do ABGs all day long. Like all day long. All day long.
Is that your clientele?
Yeah.
That's like
Wow.
my kind of
Like ABGs. Basically, all the hottest clients are my clients.
That's awesome. Okay, so you're saying you work with that many clients. 4-hour transformation, is that the longest thing that you have to do?
It's like usually average, like the longest.
Okay. And how much does something like that cost?
600.
Wow.
600. And then, like, because I do it, basically I develop my own technique to where I can get you black to blonde in one sitting and it's healthy. Whereas like most places you have to go like 4 or 5 times just to get that.
That's dead.
And yeah, and then it gets fried and all this and they're getting charged like so much more. So they're like, instead of paying maybe like $300 each time, I'd rather pay the 6, and it's like instant gratification. Like you leave looking like, oh my God, that's exactly the photo
That's
I brought
hard
in.
sell.
Yeah, so it's kind of like no brainer. So it sounds expensive at first, but I'm always like, to get it fixed is even more expensive. So
That's true.
just
I'm
do it right
convinced.
the first time.
I'm going to book my appointment.
Yeah.
Yeah, book your ticket.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome.
Hey, can you book
Yeah.
it for me?
I know. Red flag. Can you read?
Blocks.
It's the same next
Ignored.
opening October, and he's like, "When's your next opening?" I'll be like, general request.
So you said you worked with like YouTube. Did you reach out to the YouTubers?
Some of them I do. Like some of them I'll just be like, oh my God, I want to work with you. Like I would love to sponsor you. If you ever need anything, let me know. But they get so many messages. So then like I feel like it always gets funneled out. But I feel like eventually I do somehow end up working with them because like originally I wanted to work with the YouTubers because I was like hot at the time. I was like 20, maybe 18, 20, like around there. Yeah. It was all about YouTubers. And like when I moved back to Seattle, my bucket list was to work with this YouTuber that I really like called It's Judy Time. And so I was like, that's my goal. Even my followers, they would be like, oh my God, you should see Cindy. Like, so I started working with her whole network. I think I'm just good at having the dream and then having the path, figuring out the pathway. So like, I was like, I want to work with Judy. And then, when I did Vivian's hair, the other YouTuber, she came in and then this guy that follows her, Chris, who I did the silver hair on, and he was like, oh, I'm going to crash my car looking in the rear view. Yeah, Chris is like her husband's assistant. So like Judy's husband is Benji, and then Chris is Benji's assistant. So I'm just like, oh my God, like all of a sudden this is falling right into place.
Yeah.
Like I started doing Chris's hair, then like he would always post about me, and so then like Judy and Benji would see it, and then one day Chris just came in and then Benji was with him. And I was like, he's like, oh, I'm just coming to use your bathroom. I'm like, oh my God, hi Benji, you're in my salon. Like, what the heck? And then eventually I did his hair. And then eventually he's like, Judy will be here one day. And then I did. And it's just like this bucket list. And so I've done all the YouTubers I really wanted to work with. So now, like last year, my biggest goal, I was like, for this year was I want to work with musicians because like I love music. Like I'm a diehard for music. Like it helps with your mental health, whatever. Like I'll travel anywhere for a concert of someone I really like and that I support. So I really wanted to work with musicians because I want to eventually work with BTS one day. Like I don't want to be their main stylist. I just want to be able to be like, I touched Jungkook's hair. Like I had a part of this. Like I'm not greedy. I just want to be part. Like I just held the drink for the hairstyles. I don't know. Yeah. But like it gets even crazier because like I have the dream to work with BTS, but I'm like, how do I make this happen? And then one day, like a couple years ago, they posted, oh, this is BTS's hairstylist. His name is Mujin. And I'm like, oh, what the heck? Like, he's really handsome, really talented. And then I was like, oh, who's he following? And I saw that he followed one of my friends. And I was like, what the hell? I was like, why are you following James? And he's my friend James, he's from LA. And he does like a lot of like crazy looking like Japanese colors, kind of like what I was describing with the silver and the gray and like the K-pop looks. And then so I saw James a couple summers ago. I'm like, hey, like, how do you know Mujin? And he's like, oh, Mujin actually was like one of my followers from back in the day. And now all of a sudden he's doing BTS's hair. And I was just like, oh my God, like you kind of mentored him a little bit or something. And I was like, you kind of mentored me too. I was like, that's so crazy how all of a sudden we have the same connection. Mm-hmm. And so last October, I was in Busan for a BTS concert. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to book an appointment to see Mujin. So I like brought all this like little gifts from Seattle and I brought it to him. And then I was like, James, can you tell Mujin I'm coming to see him? And so he texts him. He's like, oh, my friend Cindy's coming to see you. And so when I met Mujin, BTS's hairstylist, I was just like, oh my God, I'm so nervous to meet you. He's like, I'm nervous to meet you. I'm like, me? I was like, why are you nervous to meet me? Like, and he's like, I've heard a lot about you through James. And then so we were just kind of gushing through about our connection. And so like now BTS's hairstylist does my hair. And so when I got back and now he follows me. He follows me on Instagram. He only follows 7 people on TikTok, and I'm one of them.
Whoa.
Like, I'm like, the fuck? Like, what did I do? Like, oh. And then, so like when I got home, like all my clients were like, oh my God, you got your hair done by BTS's stylist. Like they just like live vicarious through my life too. And like just back in March, I was like, oh, I'm going to Korea again. So I messaged him. I'm like, hey, this is last minute. Do you think you could do a haircut and color for me? So I saw him again. So like now like we're friends and like he does my hair. So like I think the dream just felt so far-fetched, but when I broke it down, I'm like, oh my God, this can easily get there. Yeah. If I just really try. Like, I don't want to step on his toes and do their hair. Yeah. Like, I just want to hold your coffee as you do their hair and like be there to experience it. Like I said, I'm not greedy. I'll take a crumb. Like, I don't need to be their stylist. Like, I just want to be part of the experience to help you support them. And so like, I just want to, my main ultimate goal is to maybe work with BTS one day. But right now, I was like, I want to work with musicians. So I'm actually going on tour with one of my friends. He's a Korean rapper and he's doing his second part of his tour. So now I'm going on tour with him to do hair and makeup. And I'm like, like that's just the beginning. And like I just want to work with musicians now. That's and awesome. I think because of that, like it opened so many gateways for me where I'm like, sorry, I'm not taking clients anymore. Like all my clients are like, when are you gonna be here? They're like, you're going on tour. I'm like, yeah, but like it's just the weekends. Like I'll still work one day because I only work 3 days a week. And so I'm like, I have Thursdays open, but I think they're just so understanding and they love to watch me live my life too. Because if you're really good at hair, you can make so much money. And if you're not available, that's how you lose out. But I think because my clients are just like, I love you to see you living your life. You have all these goals and dreams, and you're just not a burnt out hairstylist. Like, because some people, they do so many clients a day that you're just like, oh, another one. It's like on autopilot. But like, they love coming back just to talk about my life, their life. And now they're asking me more about me. I'm like, my throat is dry. Like, can you talk about you? Then I start forgetting if I told you about it or if my other client I talked about it. So like, you get lost.
Dude, Cindy, you're a fucking go-getter.
I know, like
awesome. That's my problem. I think that's what my problem is. Like,
you said you are that aggressive friend who like tells you can do it, and I love that you are that for yourself too. Where it's like you just fucking do it. You know, you're laying out this whole track of like how you're accomplishing your goals and your dreams, and I'm like, dude, that's amazing. Like you went from like
I was living in my sister's basement when I moved to Seattle, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna open a salon while I don't have to pay for rent. and then I was just like, you know what? I'm opening a salon. She was like, what? And then now I have a huge salon and just living the dream, chasing BTS. Like that's the goal. That's the goal. Funny. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like everything you're doing is, 6 degrees of separation, right? And nowadays, it's even smaller. Because when that idea came out, it was like, what, like the 50s or 60s or something like that? So now with the internet and social media, it's even closer.
Yeah.
And, we talked about Cha-Cha Malone a little bit, right? Because we had Lang on here. And that's why we have you on here, too, through that connection, right? And it was funny because when we had Lang on, our friend Dennis was a fan. So he was like, oh, you should work with Cha-Cha. And he like posted on his story, and Cha-Cha was like, oh yeah, I'm down. I'm just like, that's crazy how that works. We're so close to each other, even though we're so far. Like literally you guys live in Seattle and we're in California. I remember one time, so one of my friends, Jay, he's been a guest on here. His cousin is Twee, so she makes like music too.
Oh yeah. Yep. I've reached out to her before too.
Oh, have you?
Because I saw her on TikTok. I'm like, oh my God, who is this?
Yeah, and maybe
then
you can get her
found
on.
out. Well, then I found out one of my friends started doing her hair. I'm like,
oh, yeah, you just never.
Are we getting her on here?
I haven't asked. I should ask. I never thought about that. But I remember like how small the world is. We were in Nice, France, and we were at some restaurant, me, Jay, and his other cousin. And we were just eating, and he was like, what the hell? Is that my cousin on the speakers playing? And at this point, like I personally don't know how big she was at this point. I knew she was blowing up. I just didn't understand how much. Even Jay didn't know. So he like got on the phone and he's like, bitch, listen to this. This is you.
I know.
So then, he asked like the manager, and he was like, yeah, we love her out here in like Nice, France, like the south of France. I was just like, whoa. It's so crazy.
The reach that music can do.
Yeah. That just like in general, just how much being a good person can connect you to so many other people. Like it's insane.
We actually talk about that a lot on here, where it's like a lot of the people that we've gotten the chance to connect with is because the people are just like, not too focused on like being overly entitled or anything. Just good people doing good things. Like the even reason we even got Lang on here was our homie Donovan, who's been working with Peter for like years. Always a really good dude, helping out. Like if you help people be successful, like it brings success into your own life too.
Exactly.
We always try and like we've even connected other guests on here who like, we feel like you guys would really connect. Like we think you guys would like work really well together. We had a guest who he fell off was it 5 stories?
7 stories.
7-story parking building. And he survived.
Oh my God.
He survived, and we had a PT on here. One of the, like amazing PT. He helped both of us, and we linked them up, and like he helped them with his recovery and everything. Like just seeing like these kind of like connections of like just good people. It's like it's surreal.
Yeah, the same thing with client referrals. It's like, you're cool. I would love your friend group. But if you're crazy, please do not refer any of your friends to me. Like, they're going to be just like you. No.
Yeah, I was talking to her about this before you got here because, how we always ask our guests now, like, oh, who do you know that you think would be a good guest for the podcast.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, the people who are not great at being on the podcast, I still ask, you know, but I'm a little bit more reluctant. I'll screen them a little bit more because I'm like, well, you weren't amazing on the podcast either. So the people you're referring you probably don't know if they're gonna be
birds
good.
Flock together.
Yeah, I guess so.
Birds of a feather flock together.
It is true sometimes. Yeah.
No, it is. But I'm not gonna write everyone off.
Yeah.
I mean, I give everyone a chance to come on. But in the very end, sometimes you have to realize some people are just here to kind of take, you know? So for instance, for our podcast, like people are here to like promote themselves. You know, people are here to, like we had a guest, you know, he just went on to like basically talk about himself, promote themselves. And now we kind of have a screening process where it's like, oh, they'll reach out. Oh, I'd love to come on your podcast. I'm like, okay, what was your favorite episode? And I'm like, wait, you don't even follow us. Oh, wait, you've never even watched an episode. Like, oh, you just actually want to go on to talk about yourself, to give yourself a platform to like speak.
Do a plug for yourself.
Exactly. Then I'm like, okay, we can't just have anyone on. So now we're a little bit more selective about it. And I've come to realize that's something I need to do in my everyday life too. Not just because I make myself very like accessible to a lot of people, you know, because I want to help people out.
Yeah.
But then I heard this quote recently and I was like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. They said that givers need to create boundaries because takers won't.
Yes.
Yeah. I think you have to be able to like gauge the kind of person too, where it's like, okay, this person is taking too much from me.
Yeah.
And it's something you just learn from like giving too much. Yeah. We do want our guests, like there's a fine balance of like, we want our guests to like share and like for it to be a platform for them to share who they are for their audience. You know, you have your fans, you have your people who like love you, who follow you. And we want you to be able to like, you know, plug yourself in that way for people to like see another side of you too, like this like kind of like long format. There's just that balance where like we've had someone come on here and it'd be like, you know, talk the entire 25 minutes and we're like, whoa, okay. You're just like, there's no vibe.
Yeah, sometimes like this whole thing just sounds sponsored. No one likes that anymore. They want like authentic, real, genuine.
And that's exactly what we want. Those real, we want that authenticity. And like, you're doing a great job. Like, I feel like I've told too much. I feel inspired. No, I feel inspired.
If I told you that
we haven't
the BTS clout story, then
Next guest on here, BTS. That's going to be our goal too.
And I'm going to be doing the interview. So how do you get those abs? Show us a workout.
I kind of want to ask you, because now that we kind of talked and touched base on the BTS thing and how guys can use it to their advantage.
Oh, now you're bringing the question back?
Not bringing so much the question back. I'll be a little bit more broad about it. But in general, obviously, as a person who's a Army, right, are you a little bit more selective about who you date because of that? Because let's say, you know, because the level of
it's getting messy.
you know, the level of fandom that you're at right now, there has to be specific people who are like, oh yeah, you go do that. You know what I'm saying? Like you go fly and spend $100,000 and they'll support you through what you want to do. And I'm assuming people who are conflicting with that, probably not even on your radar. Right?
Exactly. Like anyone who has like a little leash that's like, you can't do that. Like it's not even a question. Like I'm already going to do me. Like you either come for the ride or you don't go on the ride at all.
Yeah.
Like I just feel like I can't be stopped.
Oh.
Yeah. So I think it takes a really special person to be able to stop me. Cause like once I get my head set on something, I'm doing it. Like, I'm going to the concert. Like, it doesn't matter if I got the tickets, I'm buying it. And like my ex, he kind of was just like, whatever, like she doesn't do her anyway. So he never really told me not to do it. But I can see people being like, you're spending too much money on BTS. Like you're doing too much, like calm down. Cause like some of my friends, their significant others are kind of like that. So they have to limit themselves where they can't go to all the shows. They'll maybe go to one, but it's like, cause they have other responsibilities. Their other partner has a decision. Like, BTS, they have like these stuffed animals, and my friend, she's like, "Yeah, my husband wants me to take the doll out of the bed, but because it's in between us. But then I'll wake up and he's cuddling with it. Oh. So it's just like you like him too. So like I think if you have a supportive partner who likes BTS, it makes it even better. Because so I have like these two friends. One of them, the husband says she's kind of obsessive over it, but it's okay because BTS is so unattainable. He's like, whatever, it's fine. Like almost like you're distracted by this BTS that you won't even you won't even stray the other way.
It's like having like a celebrity hall pass.
Yes, yes.
It's like, oh yeah,
it's never gonna happen. Whatever.
Yeah.
But then I have this other friend, maybe I think it's her sister or something, where her husband's super into BTS, so they just both her husband and the wife, they both fangirl about BTS, so they love having that connection together, and like that would be nice to have, but I think that would be boring.
So do you want to be stopped, Cindy? Because you said
no, I can't be stopped.
She's like, I can't even stop myself.
No, I can't. They're like you said, is there any reasoning to it? No, there isn't. Like I don't. The FOMO will feel worse.
I mean, do you want you said a partner to stop you, right? So I'm like, would you want a partner to just flow with you, stop you, maybe slow you down?
I don't know.
Help you take pace? Like, what is it that you look for in a partner now compared to the
how long
old
have you
you?
been into BTS now?
Since 2017, 16.
So 5-6 years.
Yeah.
Oh no, like 7 years.
And you've had relationships that whole time, right? Like,
So I was engaged, and then
what?
we were engaged for like 10 years. So it's kind of like it
Wait,
becomes
what?
normal.
Wait, what? Wait, is this
Yeah.
the DC guy? The guy you moved to DC?
No.
Oh, okay.
After it was my rebound from the DC guy.
While you were living in your sister's basement?
No, so like my sister lives in Seattle. So I was dating, like I moved to DC for that guy. Went to hair school so I could stay over there. Then we broke up. And then my rebound is who I got engaged to. And then we were together. He ended up moving back with me to Seattle. And so we were together for about 10, 11 years.
Oh my god.
And so like it's like kind of like through that time you're just like, oh, she's gonna do what she's gonna do. Like you get more relaxed in the relationships.
Yeah.
So he's kind of like, if she's not in my ear, whatever, go do whatever you want. But I've always just been more independent anyways. I'm kind of unbothered in a relationship. So I think that can come off good or bad. Because people be like, oh, what's he doing? I'm like, I don't know. He's working probably. And they'll be like, what's she doing? Oh, she's on a trip. So it's like we don't have any like chains on each other to stop you from doing whatever you want. And I kind of like that. So I don't know. I think as a future partner, I do like a little bit of, because I'm an alpha. So it's really hard for me to like subdue myself for another person unless you come with something really strong that I'm like, okay, sure. Listen.
You're like, you need a more alpha
Yeah,
person.
but otherwise I'm the fucking boss.
So
you're on
yeah.
the show.
Do you
Yeah.
prefer a man to be more alpha than you, or do you want them to be
I
submissive?
want them to be just a little bit more, but like
Or in the
both.
right
I want them to
areas.
have both.
Okay, yeah. You want it in different areas.
Exactly. Because like my ex, he's like he'd be like very catering to me and be like, oh, do you want dinner? He'll cook my dinner for me. He'll like do my laundry, do all that stuff. I'm like, oh, okay, this is nice. Because I like acts of service.
Yeah.
But then, every once in a while I'll be like, try to check him. And then he's like, okay, like we should talk later when you don't feel as mad. I'm like, no, I want to fight right now. Like I want to get into like this argument.
Oh, you're the toxic one.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's what I
K-drama
really
starts
like.
here.
Yeah. So it's all about balance. And I think right now I just like fire.
Oh. Wait,
know.
you said that maybe I misheard you. You said you were engaged for 10 years?
10 years.
Or were you in a relationship then got engaged? Like a 10-year
Yeah,
relationship?
it was all together.
Oh, okay.
And
Wait,
then
how long were you engaged for?
probably like most of it.
You guys got engaged within the first year?
No, maybe like 3 years later or
Oh,
something.
okay.
Yeah.
And then
I
7
think
years?
I just have commitment problems.
Oh, why?
Even though it's kind of like we've already been together for like 10 years. Like when we were living in DC, Virginia, it was like you're like Commonwealth married already. But I'm like, nah, I'm not trying to change my name. Like, what's really the benefit of getting married? I see people getting divorced all the time. So I'm like, and like I have a business. I don't want to like a prenup. Like it just gets so complicated. I'm like, there's really no benefit to getting married for me.
Yeah.
Which sounds kind of untraditional, but and then like you know
I'm
how
with
like
you on that one.
Yeah.
you know like how all your friends are getting married at a certain age.
Yeah.
Like they're all in their 25, 26, and like we're all getting married. And then once you pass that, you're like, my ship has sailed. I'm not even into that mood anymore. Like I just want to live my life now.
Yeah.
Like I don't really care about getting married.
Yeah. And you know what's even better though?
Yeah.
Like when you get into your 30s, after seeing all your friends in the 20s get
They're
married,
divorced.
they're getting
divorced.
divorced.
Yeah. And you're like, we're like, we didn't have to do
Hey.
that. And then their advice is always never get married. I'm
Yeah.
like, good thing I didn't. Yeah.
That's so funny.
I'm like, my record is clean.
Exactly.
I'm good right now.
Exactly. No, exactly. And then they're like, so why were you never married? You are the problem.
Yeah.
Like there's something wrong with you.
See, but that's the thing though. Like, you know how you talked about like how it's non-traditional to like not be married. I feel like it seems now it's more traditional to get divorced.
Yeah,
You know
exactly.
what I mean?
No one wants to get married
Y'all
anymore,
fucking
to be
pessimists.
honest.
I'm not a pessimist. I'm just looking.
We're just realists.
I'm just looking at the data. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be another fucking like
Statistic.
Yeah, statistic. And like, it's crazy because, especially if for Asian parents and minority parents too, they see marriage, but they don't understand the process to marriage. You know, because we speak about, let's say, even the furthest of that is like arranged marriages. It's like there's no process; you just go right into it, right? I went to a wedding, which is why I cut my hair recently, like I think 2 weeks ago. And my pops, he saw me. He was like, "Oh, you cleaned up. Like you look dressed up. Are you going to a wedding?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "When's your wedding?" And I was like, "What the fuck? I don't even have a fucking girlfriend. Who the fuck am I getting married to?" You know. But in his head, it's all about the end
process.
Not the process doesn't exist because I don't even have a girlfriend. You know, he skipped the whole process. No, it's
he's just like, when are you going to find a wife? And then the next one's be like, when's your kids coming?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But I think nowadays parents are just starting to realize that maybe you aren't going to get married. They just want grandkids. So they'll be like, I don't even care if you have a wife or anything.
Yeah.
Like, just pop out a kid with something.
That's what my parents are kind of on this. He's like, just get somebody pregnant. We'll help take care of the kid.
Exactly. That's all they want is they see all their friends with the grandkids and they want one.
My parents are the last ones out of like all of my like uncles and cousins and
give them a
stuff. So they're
grandkid.
like, we want grandkids. And I'm like, I got a business to run, guys. Like, what do you what do you want me to do?
I think that's exactly it. They're not voicing the fact that like they want kids, they want grandchildren. So they're just saying like you should get married because that's the following step. But if you get married and you have kids, it's like you still failed.
You did.
Yeah.
You did. Yeah.
But if you skip the whole marriage part and you still have kids, they'll probably still like, oh yeah, this is awesome.
Exactly. They just want the grandkid.
Exactly. I have a friend who not recently, but now it's a couple months into pregnancy, and then they announced it to their like parents, and parents are just ecstatic. You know, like, oh, we're gonna have like grandchildren. Well, like I don't know how they feel about it specifically. They could probably be like, oh shit, like we didn't plan this, whatever. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, it goes back to like the parents actually just wants to carry on what they've already done. That's have children.
Yep.
And sometimes I think it also has to do with the fact that a lot of times your parents at that age are either retired or just very bored. And they're like, oh, yeah, I would love to have grandchildren because they're like kids that you can return.
Yeah.
You know,
it's like an easier child.
Yeah. We could play with them, take care of them. Now we're tired. Here, go back to your mom and dad, you know?
Yeah.
So I can see why it makes sense now because they seem more, I feel like they're more ecstatic with grandchildren than their own children.
They are.
Yeah.
Like the amount of times I've heard my mom say, I love you to my nephews. I was like, I've never heard you say that to me ever. Like me, like when I graduated high school, you're like, oh, love you, good job. But like you be kissing my nephews all day. Like you've never kissed me before ever.
Yep, exactly.
But like the love they show to a grandkid is so different.
It's because they've learned
they don't
at
have
that
the
point
stress
too.
or like
you know?
what?
They've had to go through the whole parenting process with their kids and then learn, oh, maybe I fucked up here. Maybe I fucked up here. And then finally, when they have grandkids, there's like, oh, I don't have all these other responsibilities now. I've learned how to show some love, maybe, you know? And now you can like have these like, you know, kind of emotions with these grandkids and be like less like, you know, because I feel like with minority parents, especially you come from war-torn countries, you come where you're emotionally stunted, you're on constant survival, flight or fight mode, where you're not able to really express how you feel all the time, you know, and it comes out in like, you know, oh, go do this, or like you're ugly, blah, 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 you know, even though inside, like maybe they do care, but it doesn't always come out that way. My
mom was like, can you just have a kid? And I'll take care of it until it's like 5 or 6 and give it back to you. I was like, with who? Like, I was like, if anything, I would get a surrogate. Like, I think they just want grandkids by any means. Like she has other grandkids, but she is like, I want you to have a kid. And my mom, so I have like 5 other siblings, and I'm like, but you had to have 6 kids to have one perfect one. And she's like, oh, you think you're the perfect one? I'm like, I mean, I'm just saying. So she's like, no, have 3. And I think the third one will be perfect. I'm like, no, goodbye.
Oh, geez.
Like that's too much. Cause like, you know, like, all the kids are not going to be good. Like there's going to be one black sheep. There's going to be one that succeeds. And then the other one is just a floater.
So which one are you?
The perfect one.
Serious and Mario, come on. Listen.
So I'm like, to have 6 kids and maybe have one good one, God, that the odds are low.
Have they given up on you like having kids already, or like?
I feel like a little bit because I just feel like I'm so career focused that it stops you from even thinking about kids and any of that. I'm like, if I were to have one, I'm like, would I just adopt one if I wanted to? But I don't know. I never had that instinct of being like motherly.
I don't think you need to have kids in order to have a fun and successful life. You know, it doesn't fall to everyone. You don't need to be married. You don't need to have kids. Some people want it. Some people don't, and that's okay. Yeah. But I was asking because like you were engaged for 10 years. So did your parents were like, oh shit, like were they expecting it? And then it just
I think they're always just like, oh, when are you getting married? When are you getting married? When are you setting the date? And I think after a while I'm just like, eh. And then after a while, just like, so me and my ex, we broke up a year ago.
Yeah, so tell us about your ex.
Yeah, so basically we were together for maybe like 12 years or so.
Holy.
And then we broke up a year ago, and I never even told my parents about it until like last week.
Wow.
Yeah, and we still live together.
Whoa.
So it's like really messy.
Oh, it's messy.
Oh,
It's messy, but not in a bad way. Because it's like,
Okay.
after like 10 years, it's like you become family.
Yeah.
And like, I've had some clients where they're like, oh, why don't you just kick him out? I'm like, why? He still does the trash. He like, so takes care of my cats. Like, why would I kick him out? Like, I don't hate him. Like, we just grew apart. And if anything, actually, now that we're not together, it's gotten better. Like, we're not, like, I don't need to constantly nag you to clean up shit because it's like, we have our own rooms. But like, I was just always afraid to tell my parents because they're like, oh, that's our son. Like, they love him because like, he's a chef. He like, imagine Thanksgiving dinner and like, usually mom is cooking. No, they're all like, in the living room. He's like, don't touch any of the stuff. I'm doing everything on my own. So they just love how catering he is. And he's just like, really, I don't know, maybe a dream son. Yeah. And so I didn't want them to be all sad.
I'm sad.
I know. And so I'm just like, I'm just not going to tell you. So my mom was like seeing me with all these different people like in the last year. And she's just like, where's Cindy? And then my sister-in-law was like, oh, she's in New York with her friends. And she's like, oh, she's being a whore over there. And then my sister-in-law finally talked to me. She's like, why don't you just tell mom and dad that you guys broke up? Because like I slowly told each of my siblings, but I said, you can't tell anybody because I have 5 siblings. So I'm like, I was like, I'm going to tell you, but you can't tell anyone because the other one doesn't know. But they already knew. I was just making them keep secrets from each other. But yeah, she's like, why don't you just tell mom that you guys broke up so she won't think you're a whore? I'm like, no, I think I'd rather her think me a whore than being heartbroken.
Dang. Holy cow.
I know. I was just like, they would be so heartbroken if they found out that we broke up. And then finally, like, I had gotten back from one of my trips recently, and I was like telling my parents, I was like, oh, let's go get some food. And so I took them out to like lunch, and then like my ex, he called, and he was just like, oh, what are you guys doing? I'm like, oh, I'm taking my mom and them to get ramen or something. And then she's like, oh, where is he? I'm like, I don't know. Because usually that's the answer. Whenever I see my parents, they're always like, oh, what's he doing? I'm like, I don't know. Like, probably at work. I have no idea. Like, I don't keep tabs on him. And then she's like, see, you never know like where he's at. That's why you have like you guys are never getting married or like something like that. And then I was like, finally, I was like, you know what? We broke up a year ago. I just didn't want to tell you, but now I'm going to tell you. And she's like, wait, what? And she's like all shocked. I'm like, yeah, you see how like untraditional our relationship is that you never realized that we broke up. We haven't been in the same room for the last year and you never noticed because we're so like untraditional. And then she's like, why'd you break up with him? I was like, actually, he broke up with me. And then she got this smile on her face and she's like, yeah, kind of like, you deserve that.
Wow.
Because she thinks she knows, she's like, you're the problem.
Oh, wow.
And then, then she's just like, it's fine. Like, he's still our family. I was like, yeah, I didn't really want to tell you guys because like he moved all the way to Seattle to be with me. Yeah. Like, was with my family and I didn't want them to treat him any differently if we broke up because like that's still his family. So I'm like, I thought that maybe that would change the dynamic, so I didn't tell them. And they're like, no, it's still fine. And so it's been like a couple weeks and I guess it's fine.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is he still invited to like the holidays and everything?
Yeah, he still comes and everything and like everything's just normal because again, I think our relationship was so untraditional. Like I was never like, I think maybe like at the beginning of the relationship where you're like all honeymoony and then after like 7 years, you're like, we fucking hate each other, but we love each other, but we hate each other kind of vibe. It's like you're married already. So just like, go do your thing. I'll do like, as long as we're not nagging each other, whatever. So if we would have gotten married, like maybe shortly after we like say that 3-year mark that I feel like I would have maybe tried to put more effort to stay together. But I'm like, like, then I'll see people who are in love and I'm like, oh my God, true love does exist. I'm like, but not for me.
What caused you guys to break up, or why did he?
It was really nothing. Like, it was just kind of eventually I was just like, he was like, maybe we should just go on a break then. I was like, yeah, you're right. And then he eventually was like, well, if we're on a break for so long, maybe we should just break up then. I think he was just testing me. And I was just like, okay. And I was like, sure, we could just break up. So it was like really nonchalant. There was like no breaking point.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's just kind of like mutual. And then like sometimes he'll still be like, oh, maybe we should go to counseling just so like for our next relationships we could do better. But I'm like, but the problem isn't me, it's you.
Wow.
So that's how I know I'm the red flag. Even though like I don't think I am, like the things when I think of it in a different perspective, I can see that it's me.
Oh.
Yeah.
At least you can think about you in a different
Yeah.
perspective, you know? Because I think everyone should go to counseling, therapy. It'll definitely help for your next one if you care about the next one.
Yeah.
You know, even if
Yeah.
you think you are perfect, you know,
Yeah.
how do I become more perfect?
Yeah. Yeah.
know?
But I'm like, I'm not even looking. Because it sounds like, because like what I was saying, like I wasn't even dating anyone and I was getting into all these guy issues. I'm like, the fuck is dating like then if this is just a friend or whatever?
So you're in a whole new world now. Then you're like,
yeah. And then, yeah. So like right now, like a lot of my friends are either married or they're like engaged. And so like now, like I don't even want to go back. Like to me, like now that I'm single, I never wanted to be single because I wanted to date again. I was like, oh my God, I just want to be by myself and not have to deal with anyone. And then my friends are like, oh, do you know this person likes you? I'm like, because you're so out of the game, you're like, oh, I'm oblivious. They like me. You're like confused. So I think then the other person who's interested in you, they think that you're being a bitch or like, but you're just oblivious because you've been out of the game for so long.
dude, that's
Yeah,
Peter
that's-
exactly.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 10
They're
years
like-
is a long time.
Exactly. So I'm just like, huh?
Yeah, but
How's this like?
you've only been single for a year. That means you're what, 34, 33 now?
I just turned 36.
Oh, 36.
Yeah.
So years 35. So this is from 25.
Yeah.
So wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a totally different
Yeah.
range.
It's like
though.
You
the
missed out
person
all
you're
the-
supposed to marry.
You missed out on all
Yeah.
the dating app
Yeah,
stuff.
oh,
You missed
yeah.
out on all the changes.
Yeah. So when I went to Korea back in October, we met up with my friend, and then she had a friend that lived there, and she's like, "Oh, have you been on Tinder in Korea?" And I'm like, "No, like I don't use apps. I don't even know if it's like swipe left or right. Like
Yeah, yeah.
I don't even know what it is." But she showed us this dude that she was dating, and it literally looked like a guy from a Men's Health magazine. And we're just like, wait, what? And so like me and my friend both just downloaded Tinder just to see what we were doing. And then we're just swiping over and over. And she's like, you know, your swipes run out. And I'm like, oh. Yeah,
Really?
exactly. I didn't
runs
know that.
out?
As someone who never has used a dating app, I would never known that. So I'm like, oh, I guess there's
It's like
that.
a gacha game. You got to pay to like get more. You know.
Oh,
Yeah,
is
that's
that
how they
what
get
they're
you.
doing to monetize now?
Yeah, that's how they
I
get
did
you.
not know that.
Yeah. I was just like, I thought you just get unlimited swipes.
Yeah, I haven't even downloaded Tinder in like since that last breakup, which was last breakup, which was 20. I was 25, 26. So it's been
10
like
years ago?
10 years for me.
Wow.
Yeah. So like I don't even know what that looks like at all.
Yeah.
You know, I don't even see most of my friends, and I assume they just do it behind closed doors. But like recently, I have one of my cousins moved here from like, I think he lived in Virginia or something like that, or Maryland, I forget. But he moved here. He's out in LA now, and he's like, when he first moved, I was like, why are you moving? Like, don't you got a girl? He's like, not anymore. I'm like, oh. I was like, why Cali? He's like, man, the ABGs, bro. So I was like, okay. So I caught up with him a little bit, and he was just saying like, yeah, man, like out here on the apps, like all the girls so attractive, and it's
Plus
crazy.
he's like fresh meat because he's
Yeah.
like the new person on the app probably.
And he's like he's a good looking tall Asian guy. You know, he's like
he doesn't have to try.
No, I don't think so at all.
yeah.
He's like 6'1" or some shit like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Not fair.
And he's like, he just seems like super nice, you know, but he's a dog. But, you know, he's going out on dates like all the freaking time. He's like, dude, the women out here just, it's great. Like,
Wow.
it's completely different than the East Coast. I was like, wow, at least you're enjoying yourself, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's so different for me where it's like, I don't know if it's because he's a lot younger, so he is already used to it, and maybe he wasn't in as long of a relationship as I was, but getting out of it, I was just like, oh man, I don't even want to think about dating.
Yeah.
You know, like from my last one, which was 4 years, the one before that, I took a 3-year break. That was like the 10-year one. And now I'm
You're
like,
just a long relationship person.
I
he
feel like
is.
I am, you know? I tried to deny it, but
Right?
like, I guess I
like
am.
we never got a hoe out phase because we get
Oh.
locked up so quickly.
Exactly. We get holed
Yeah.
in. That's
Yeah.
why. I'm
We
like,
really
damn.
do.
It's strange because I keep on thinking like, oh, maybe it feels like a different age that happened to me, you know? Maybe because by the time the 10-year relationship was over, I was like 27. I'm like, okay, I'm supposed to be like doing career
you were
shit.
17 at the time?
17,
wow.
18, yeah.
Wow.
So that's why I was like so young, you know? And that's like also all my college years.
Yeah.
Right? Like college was just like me just going to school and like hanging out with some friends, and that was it. There's like no dating life. And then that was also the years of like everyone was on the apps, and Tinder was found out to be like, oh, not a dating app, but a hookup app. So all these like different ways of getting myself to being a hoe, like I didn't experience it.
Yeah, because deep down you're not a hoe, maybe.
Maybe.
That's
not too late for you.
Like you can talk about hoe stuff, but at the end of the day, you're like, nah, I can't do that though.
I'm actually
like,
really,
right?
I feel like I'm
same
one of those
way.
guys.
Like I could say the same thing. I'm like, yeah, but I'm like, nah.
Yeah, I always fuck around and I talk about it. And, you know, I'm always like, oh, where the bitches
hoes
at?
at?
Exactly.
Because my saying is when I go out, I'm always like, oh, where the bitches at? Where the hoes at? But I'm just talking about my friends, like,
Yeah.
the rest of the group,
Yeah.
you know? And then when my friends are like, oh, they're over there, I'm just like,
You're
oh,
like,
yeah.
Exactly.
I'm like, let me go get a drink first. I'll be back, you know?
exactly. You're just like fucking around. I feel the same way. Like maybe we're just flirty, but it never goes further than that.
So I've had like I talked to some of the guys about it. I've had like a couple of opportunities at threesomes. Just I don't know why, but I've never been able to do it. I'm
So
just
annoying.
like a softie, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I remember one time I went skinny dipping with these two girls, and you know, obviously I didn't do anything, but they somehow felt it, and one of the girls was like, are you like one of those nice guys? in my head, I wanted to be like, fuck no, what do you mean? Let's go back to your place right now. But I was like, oh shit. Like, I feel like kind of like nervous. You know? I was like, yeah, I guess I am. And they're like, oh, okay. So you just gonna take us back to our place? I was like, yeah, we kind of got work early, so I'll just drop you off, drop you two off, and just go home.
Yeah.
But
Does that make them like you better though?
Huh?
Do you think that makes them do a little bit of a chase, or were they like turned off?
I don't know. I think it just depends. I think with them, it probably would have been more of like being assertive. Like, but then also I had another
Because they were
opportunity.
down already. Yeah.
I had another opportunity where I was a little bit more assertive. And it did not pan out the way I thought it was. So I was like, fuck, dude. Like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
You know? Because I got into my head where I'm like, am I just wasting these opportunities? Like, this is what guys would love to do.
You dream of.
Yeah. So I remember, like, I left a gig and I, like, Ubered to this girl's house because she's like, I'll meet my friends over. And she had insinuated a lot of things about her and her friends always fooling around. And I came over there and I guess she, like, had changed her mind. And she was like, oh, yeah, like, why don't you just go sleep in that room, like to her friend, and then we'll just sleep in the living room. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, what am I doing here? Maybe I'm not meant to be like a dog or something like that. Yeah, but I guess
Not
I'm
meant
just
to be a dog.
also being more in a relationship than I am single.
Yeah.
I think it's just me learning to adjust and like kind of read the room a little bit better, you know, because you don't know. It's like how you said you were like oblivious.
Yeah.
You know, I felt like I was like that when I was single, and I became even more like that when I was in a relationship. Because I used to try to ignore all the signs, you know?
Yeah, because you get so comfortable and you're like, oh, okay. Like,
Yeah.
I don't really even know what's going on. It's not that I'm ignoring you. It's just, I didn't even see it.
Yeah. And then it does become to where there are certain females who do enjoy the chase. Yeah, but then you got to read
That's
the room,
me.
right?
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like,
That's me.
you?
And then once the chase is done, I'm like, this is boring. 'Cause
You're done? You're
like, I feel like I am a relationship person, but then I like a chase more.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
It's bad.
so you want to work for it. You don't want to just,
It's kind of like
balance.
that thing where could it happen, could it not happen? That's the chase. And then once it happens, you're like,
I got my
mission
answer.
got the bag.
Back that, I'm done.
Yeah,
Are
back
you
then
more of a
was
chase
done.
person or a...
I do
Because it's fiery.
I do want some chase. Like there's a line though. Like if you're making me chase for months on end, then I'm like I get bored. I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, like
Is it kind of like you get the vibe like, do you even like me? Or like, yeah.
Yeah, where it's like, and sometimes when I've chased in the past, and And I don't mean just like, okay, you hook up and you bag it like that. Sometimes like, okay, I want to like, pursue something, but they like giving you like the like crumbs or like, oh yeah, maybe I can hang out here. Like, oh, even after you've already like hooked up or like, started like kind of going on dates and stuff. And like, oh, I'm like, oh, you want to, I'll plan something out, this and that. And they'll be like, oh, I don't know. Yeah, blah, blah. And I'm like,
they're flaky.
Yeah, a little bit flaky, a little bit like maybe not as like, then day of like, oh yeah, let's go here. I'm like, okay. When it's like that, I'm like, you're not giving me enough. Like, if I'm putting all this effort and you're not giving some back, at least like 50% back or something, like then I'm like, what am I doing this? I'm tired.
Yeah,
I'm too hot for this.
Yeah. Imagine with your hair silver too.
Stop.
You're gonna be way too hot for this.
It'd be game over, bro. It'd be game over.
That's what I do. Plant the seed, and then now he's gonna never be able to stop thinking about it.
I can't. Now I've been thinking about it this whole time.
No, you're good. You're good. I see.
Yeah, it's like
I was looking up, when does she have appointments?
It's like, it's not even about like me getting the person right away. I'm like, I just need to plant the seed. And then
you
it just
do
has
that the person you're like,
it just has
pursuing
like,
too.
Yeah, it just has the idea in your head, and you'll just constantly keep thinking of it until you're like, I'm gonna do it.
I'm already gonna do it. I already decided throughout like this.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna do
You're
it.
gonna do it.
I'm gonna do it.
Damn,
I'm
there
gonna do
you
it. I'm gonna
go.
check when you have availability and book it.
You don't even have to do it with me. You can do it with anyone.
No, I want to do it with you. You're the one who put my idea.
Wow.
And we'll go to
That's true.
Seattle. Because I want to go to Seattle anyways.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm down. We'll
If
fly
there's
to
no
Seattle.
BTS concert, then sure.
Okay, yeah, we'll have to check the BTS
Or if I'm
schedule.
not on tour, then sure.
That too.
Damn, I don't, now that I asked you that question, I don't know if I like the chase because I pretty much don't chase.
He doesn't.
But I'm not sure if it's because like I don't like it or I'm just used to not chasing.
Do people chase you?
I wouldn't say they chase me, but they show interest first usually.
So then, yeah, they chase you.
Oh, okay, I guess
Yeah.
so. I guess so. Yeah.
You've been chased.
Yeah, I guess so.
He's being humble again.
He's too humble sometimes.
Yeah, he is.
I don't know. I just don't like to read into things. Like we had this conversation where Mario thinks that if you're friends with a single female, like most likely there could be a thing, no matter who it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, true.
Oh, really?
No,
So you
I
agree?
believe that. I
Oh,
believe that. I
dang,
believe
okay.
that. Even if you start off with just like, same with me, like even if you start off as friends with just a guy, like it's innocent, but then eventually you can develop feelings. Whereas like with another guy, like you're not going to develop feelings. So it's just like, so with a female, it's even if you just want it to be innocent, it could still develop.
I think it's just because I have a good track record of it being innocent, usually.
But then it develops. It can.
If
Or you stop it from developing. What
I
is
think
it?
you are like that, or you stop it from developing and people know what you're like,
Is it because you don't want to ruin the friendship?
Yeah, most of the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
agreed. Agreed.
I'm just like-
Ruin.
Yeah, but what if it could have been a thing?
Yeah.
Like a relationship.
Yeah. Like what if it could have
scares
been the
me even
one?
more.
Yeah.
That scares me even more, actually. I'm just like, yeah, and then let's say we're really good friends, like best friends, and I could lose my best friend. Then I'm just like,
Yeah.
that's-
We're the same.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
funny because like you agree with them on the other stance, and
Yeah.
then you agree with me on this stance.
Yeah, because like I've had the same situation, and then you're like, I don't want to lose the friendship, so I would never cross the line. But then,
then you cross the line.
yeah, you can cross the line, but then it goes sour anyways.
Yeah.
So,
It honestly
but then
depends
wouldn't
on-
it be weird for you to straight off the bat have a single female friend and be like, oh, we're just friends?
I have a bunch of single
Like I'm not
females.
even. I mean, just like you. Would you just say that to the person? Oh, we're just friends. Like,
No, I
because some
usually-
people are like that. Like where right at the beginning they'll be like, "Oh, you're such a good friend." I'm like, I never really try to be more than a friend with you. Why are you saying that?
Oh,
So they
Sometimes it's just
draw the
establishing.
line. Yeah, they just
Yeah.
establish the line from the very beginning. I'm like, oh, whatever.
no, I get the opposite. Like where, I can see myself dating you, and I'm like, I didn't ask if you would date me. Like that's
See,
strange.
they're chasing you.
See it, but yeah, I don't know. It's strange because I'm just like, I wasn't even talking about a dating life, and you just kind of insert that in there, And I think that's like, are you just trying to plant the seed almost?
Yeah.
And
you're like, I'm gonna friend zone you right now.
yeah, basically
I'm gonna shut it down.
Yeah, exactly. I'm
Because
just
you
like,
don't want to lose a friendship.
Yeah. That and it's just sometimes like when I have that idea of a friend in my head, it's just already like it kind of strips away all that lust already,
Got it. It's like when a guy meets a girl that like, I want to pursue you, or you're just a friend.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
heard of that.
I think you kind of know already right off the bat for the most part. And like I'm more of like, usually I'm not gonna pursue you anyway. So it's
Yeah.
like if you were to overcome the friend zone, it's somewhere along the lines of becoming friends. You kind of implement that seed in my head. Then I'm like, okay, I can kind of see why. But if it was just like strictly friends right off the bat, and then just went like that, like I can, like when I see people date their friends after being friends for like 10 years, I'm just like, whoa, how does that happen?
Yeah.
Like that shocks me. I'm like, they're like best friends.
That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, don't people want to marry their best friend?
Yeah, but you know, all of them break up.
They
that
do.
I've seen.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen. I've seen a few who stayed together.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like friends for 10 years and then they date.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
And how long have they been together?
Still together. So.
But I mean, how long has it been since they started dating?
What? 3-4 years maybe?
Oh,
5 years?
3-4 years is early though.
Yeah.
3-4 years is early. Plenty
see.
of time for tragedies
We'll
for
see.
sure. Yeah, that's the scary part, right? It's like you won't find out, and if you're friends for that long, usually you're in your like 20s,
Yeah.
or 30s, and then you start dating for 3 or 4 years, and you get to your 40s, and you decide if you want to get married, but then it's like, oh shit.
It's like that's why I'm like the chase is better because it's just like fun. But then once you commit, then you're like, oh, we have to start talking about bills together and all this shit that makes everything not fun.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I'm like, well, this is boring now.
Oh, okay. Now I gotta ask you. I understand how Mario chases. He just barks up every tree until he gets something.
That's
right?
not me, sir. You're on the wrong person.
All right.
That's GP.
But I want to hear like what's your definition of the chase?
Like maybe someone that's unattainable where they're just like, oh, like you're friends, but you're not friends. And they say that there's like no chance, but then they're kind of like, have you been seeing those memes where it's like, they'll tell you they love you, but then they'll like ghost you or something. Like they give you mixed signals. They'll tell you that, oh, sorry, I was confused. I thought you liked me because you told me you loved me. Like those type of vibes.
Oh, okay.
So then it's just like, the chase is you feel like you can have it, but once you get it, it's like a guy. Like once you get it, it's no longer fun.
But what's your approach to the chase though?
The chase is, I don't feel like I'm the chaser. I feel like I get a little chase because I'm so unbothered. I'm oblivious.
Oh, okay,
So like someone could be chasing me, but then I'm just like over here roasting you.
Yeah.
and then it's like, because I'm not chasing you, you're chasing me. Because they're kind of like, oh, why aren't you interested when everyone else is interested? And I'm like, I'm busy. I'm looking at BTS. Like, the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So it's like the focus of them is me, but I'm like focused on something else.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I know exactly what you mean now. I think we talked about it a couple times because we talked about different guys' games. Like, what game do you do? You know, like what game do you play? And we talked about the unbothered kind.
Yeah.
Where it's like the person who gets a bunch of attention from anyone else, but except for you. You know? And it's kind of in a way like nagging the person, kind of like, oh yeah, like why am I not getting validation from you?
Exactly.
Like,
I think that's what it
about me?
was.
Like, please let me know what I need to do
Yeah.
for you to validate me.
Yes.
Because everyone else does.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And then they go on, they start trying to get closer to you. They put in some remarks here and there about like, oh, yeah, I can't see us together. But they say in like a playful way. It's like,
Wow, I think you know the person I'm talking about. No. Like that sounds very familiar.
Yeah? Okay, yeah. I feel like that is a type
So there's a lot of people that are like that?
Yeah.
Wow, there's not just one person.
No, there's a couple. There's a
Wow.
couple. Yeah, at least that I know of. That's why, I wouldn't call it a game if it's just like one person. That would be like, revolutionary, But
Yeah.
since I know a couple of people, I'm just like, okay, so people do this. This is kind of like their way of approaching
Yeah.
the game.
But like some people really are unbothered.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, how when you're you're living your best life doing you, then people are just like, why is this person, like, who is this person? They get
Yeah.
interested. When you're focusing on yourself, then people want to attach to you.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like that's what it is. I'm like, I'm unbothered.
I think what it is too is when you're unbothered and you're focusing on other things, you become a more interesting person. You know what I mean?
That's
a
true.
lot of the times where I'm unbothered, it's like I'm traveling a lot, I'm starting events, I'm trying to run new businesses, I'm meeting a lot of people and just making memories,
Yeah.
And you just seem like really fun. And I
Yeah.
think that's what it is because when all you're doing is chasing the other person, they know what you're about. You're about
Yeah.
to chase right now. You're
Yeah.
trying to get at them, right?
Yeah.
But if you're not, it's like you're doing all these other things. Your time is not consumed by chasing this person, and you automatically become the most interesting person in the room.
Yeah,
like,
because I'll be like, oh my God, look at all these events you're throwing. Look at you traveling. I'm like, who is that?
yeah, I
That's
get
Peter.
Yeah.
I get a lot of this now. Now I'm starting to pick up on like what people are trying to say between the lines a little bit. Because, you know, let's say I'm traveling or going out to eat a lot, like at nice places. Not nice as in like fancy, but just like fun places. People just be like, oh, take me. You know, like, you should take me, travel with you.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I barely even know you. Like,
exactly.
You want me to take you travel with you? I could kill you. You know what I mean? Like I can murder you and throw your body off to the side. No. Like, that's so risky that there has to be a reason why you're saying that. I'm starting to pick
They're
up
being
on that
flirty.
now.
Yeah.
Without being like direct though.
But then do you answer or you just ignore?
I do answer. I'll just be like, whenever we can find time. And it just never happens.
Yeah.
You know,
you're like, psych.
Yeah. And then like people be like, oh, how come like they'll be like, oh, I wish I could do this. I'm like, oh, why don't you? He's like, you never invite me out. I'm like,
oh my God. Like, you don't need an invite to go.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I know
on
those
your
people
own.
too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But that's why though, that's what happens when you become that person is that they're trying to seek that adventure too, and they don't know how to step into it, so they'll kind of just like put it in there in between the lines a little bit. But it's super interesting trying to pick that up now because a lot of it is like I would hear it online, you know, through DMs or text or whatever. It's not like if I heard it through like in person, I think I could read the room a little bit better, but I'm not great at reading the room when it comes to like text messages. Yeah, I can't tell when people are being flirtatious or sarcastic.
If it's with an emoji, it's flirty.
Yeah. I feel like that's just completely obvious, right? Yeah, I had this person. I hope she doesn't watch the podcast.
I hope she does.
So there's this person who I just found out, which is actually kind of insane. So she has been following me for years. I don't remember how long ago, but the only reason why I remember her, she was one of the first like Instagram followers I got. And then she would message me, DM me here and there, just like saying stuff like, oh, handsome or whatever. And I just don't really pay too much attention. Or once in a while, like I'll be like, oh, thanks. But recently she was like, oh, you know, she writes in Vietnamese, but she was like, oh yeah, like where are you from? Like I'm Vietnamese, whatever's. I live in Cali. And I was like, oh shit, I didn't even know she lived here. But then I asked one of my friends, like, what is she saying? And she was saying like, oh yeah, you should meet me up. And I was like, sorry, I tried to play off. I was like, my English is bad. Or sorry, my Vietnamese is bad. I only speak English. And she's like, oh, you know, my family lives like right here. Are you close? And she was close by. I was like, what the hell? And then she was like, oh, we should meet up if you have free time tomorrow, you know, after work or whatever. And I was just like, I'm sorry, I don't meet with strangers.
Dang.
And then I told one of my friends about it. My friend's like, dude, she hit me up too. And then she hit my other friend. And it's like circle, she hit our whole circle. And I was like, whoa, this is kind of crazy. It's like, is this a real person?
Yeah.
My buddy was like, I've seen her before. She's real. She like came to my workplace. I was like, holy cow.
What do you think her intention is? To just get with all of you or one of you?
I think she just has like a
gangbang,
kind of like a
a homie,
kind of like maybe like a crazy homie offer, kind of like a type almost. I'm not sure because they're all like Asian dudes, right? But I have no idea. It just seems like it definitely seems slightly flirtatious. So it's kind of like maybe she's just shooting her shot.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, it's a person who's been following me forever, like all of us for a long time, for years. Like, why speak out now? It's so strange.
Maybe now she's single.
Oh, yikes. Yikes. Yeah, I don't know. But that's definitely, again, you know, me just responding to it at first. I was just like, oh, it's just harmless. But I was like, oh, maybe it won't be. Maybe it could be like that scary like person.
Maybe she's going to chop you up.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to feel like I'm too scared to like meet people. But it's just maybe not the right person either. Like she
didn't give the right energy for you to even want to meet her.
No.
Yeah.
Not at all. I usually don't. I don't think I've ever met like a person online before. Like
really?
Like from that kind of interest. That's what I mean. Like I've met people online where it's like other photographers or other like
more professional type stuff.
Yeah. We'll work or like if we have I can't remember. I think the youngest thing that I can remember about myself was like, maybe I met some people over like a video game. We'll go play video games or something like that, but nothing I have like a interest like that.
So we'll end this on a high note, you know, besides all the serial killer stuff. If you were to chase Jungkook, what would you do? What's your play-by-play? Go.
I would I would chase him in a way where it's professional. Like I don't want a relationship with him. Like to me, I'm just like, oh my God, you're like my inspiration. I just want to work with you. Like I just want to work with him professionally. Even though like I have the tattoos and everything, and I'm like, oh my God, you're so hot and everything. But like I think I know how to draw the line also, because like I've worked with a lot of people who inspire me, kind of like Chacha Malone, and like I can easily fangirl all day when he's in my chair, but like we just talk about real shit. Like I'm his hairstylist, like we talk about real stuff. So I would think the same with Jungkook. Like even though I'm a huge fan, I think I know how to put that aside so that I could still have like a normal thing with him, like a normal relationship. And like I've met one of my ultimate biases. His name's Taeyang from Big Bang, and like. I literally met him at a fan meet and greet, and then I literally almost interviewed. I'm like, "Hey, can you give a shout out to Seattle?" And everyone's just like, "How are you so calm?" I'm like, "I don't know. I think I'm able to take away the fangirl thing, because I think some of them they might like when you fangirl, but like imagine just someone just like crying while you're talking to them. What do you say?" So like I think as a fan, where I'm just like, oh, act so normal, like I've known them forever. It makes them feel really comfortable. And I think I would be able to have like that approach to create a long lasting relationship. Whereas if I just fangirl and tell you how much I love you and like I just want to do your hair one time, like that could come off as creepy.
Yeah.
I mean, it would come off as creepy. Like he'd probably be thinking, like, are you keeping my locks of hair? Like, what are you doing? Like, are you enjoying shampooing me? Yeah.
That's a good answer. That's a good answer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Nice.
So I would be his friend.
Yeah. That's the way I see things too. Like I've met a lot of people who are like, big out there, and I just treat them as like regular people.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think they like that. Yeah. They don't want you to treat them like some type of god. Like I know you are, but like I'm gonna treat you like like a normal person.
Yeah,
but with respect.
Exactly. And I think what it is like a lot of them don't get that, so that's kind of what they want.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Like everyone's like bowing down to you and you're like, hey, what's up?
Yeah. Like I might be a fan, but I'm not gonna have a fan behavior,
Exactly.
So I think that makes a big difference.
Yeah. Like I went with like that influencer I was telling you about, the one I finally worked with. Her name was It's Judy Time.
Yeah.
So we went and had lunch together, and then we went to this little ice cream shop, and her fan was behind the counter. She was working. She's like, "Oh my God, are you Judy?" Just starts bawling. And Judy's like, "Oh my God, it's okay. Like, it's fine." And it's like, what do you say to that versus someone being like, "Hey Judy, how are you doing?" Like, but I'm like, "Oh my God, have fans cried to you a lot before?" Because the way she consoled her was so like it was like instinct. She was like, "Oh my God, it's okay. Don't cry. Like it's fine. We should take a picture together." And that calmed them down. And I'm just like, wow, like you're a pro at this.
Did you get free ice cream?
We didn't.
Wow, that's fucking.
I know.
Not a true
but
fan.
Like,
not a fan.
but like, wouldn't that be awkward? Just be like, hi.
Yeah.
Falling.
Yeah. I mean, like I don't have like a big following by any means. But when I was more active on my photography stuff, like I met a lot of people who came up to me. It was like, "Oh yeah, I'm a fan of your work. Like I've been following you for years and stuff like that." I'm like, "That's really cool." Yeah. But also, they're not to that level of fandom that they'll break down and cry.
Yeah.
At that point where it's like, "Oh shit, how I don't know how I'd handle that." Like I've never had that happen, but I imagine I want to handle it like how she did it.
Yeah, she was good. She was like, "Let's take a picture." And like, I had another client before where she's like, "Oh my God, I follow you for so long." And like, she's like, "I saw that you were at Boiling Point the other day, so I went there too, like copying everything I did." I'm like, "Oh, so what should we do with your hair?" She's like, "I want to do it red like yours." I'm like,
I was about to say that.
I'm like, "Are you my twin?" Like,
it's gonna assume your identity and then take over your life.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, this is a little far." But then imagine Jungkook is like, "You got all these tattoos
That's
of me."
fair.
Like, when I meet you, I'm
fair.
gonna wear long sleeves.
Yeah.
I wear long sleeves and some gloves. He'll never know.
All right, guys, welcome to our lightning round, where we ask our guests some rapid fire questions. If they can't answer, they've got a drink. But our guest is dehydrated, so it's okay.
Oh yeah, I really am dehydrated, and I have food poisoning.
Oh, that's awful.
I know.
Cindy, are you ready?
Yes.
3,
No.
2, 1. Favorite color?
Red.
There you go.
Can you tell?
Who inspires you?
BTS.
If you had to have one meal as your last meal before you died, what would it be?
Maybe a donut.
What?
A donut.
All right.
A chocolate custard filled donut.
That sounds pretty good, actually.
Yeah, right? Doesn't that just sound
I
refreshing?
mean, crave a donut right now.
Yeah.
Who besides BTS do you want to work with? Besides
Keshi?
Yeah, besides Keshi and BTS, who do you want to work with?
J Park.
Okay. If you were an artist, music artist, what would your name be?
Oh, I probably, I don't even know. Like, I have a gamer tag, but then that's already boring. Like, it's called Cookie Gamer.
You can go Cookie.
But I don't know, Cookie. But that's based off Jungkook.
Oh, got it.
I just steal other people's names.
What games do you play?
Right now I'm playing Population 1, or like I was doing like Call of Duty, but it was an obsession, so I stopped. Like, it was unhealthy.
Oh,
I saw a lot of those.
Yeah.
When's
unhealthy.
the last time you cried?
Maybe a couple months ago, February, Valentine's Day.
What are you proud of?
I think that I'm a good person and I'm genuine, because that's hard to find.
True.
Yeah. I don't need anything in return. Like, if I want to help you, I want to help you because I want to.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Who, aside from BTS, inspires you? Aside from any artist or the people that you know?
I would say probably my dad, because he's like a go-getter, and then like whenever I tell him like any crazy things, he'll be like, "Yeah, I would have done that too." Like, he just has this like crazy go-getter mentality. And I remember when I came back from like one of my trips, I was like, I want to get this neck tattoo. My mom's like, why would you do that? And my dad's like, you should get a dragon.
Oh, nice.
and my mom's just like, what the hell's wrong with you? And then I'll be like, you know what? I kind of want to be a dick and get a Corvette. And my dad's like, yeah, I get that. And so like, I think my dad's just living through me. And so like, yeah, I feel like I'm him. Yeah. Yeah. So my dad.
What's your next hair color?
I can never change it. I'm just known for the red now.
Really?
So
Wow.
it's always gonna be red. Like, I never did red, mainly because I was like, the first color any Asian person does is red.
Is it?
Yeah, it always is red, because like that's the easiest color you can get with
Oh.
black hair. And so I was like, I'm never gonna do that. And then when I finally did it, I did every other color except for red, and I did it the red. I'm like, I get it now. And I've had it for maybe like 7, 8, 9 years now.
wow.
It's like my signature look now, and
You
yeah,
can't
it's
go
just
back?
I really can't. I don't know what other color would suit me anyways, and it's so easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
My last question for you is, what's one goal you have for this year?
To work with either BTS or J Park or Keshi.
There you
Like,
go.
just basically work with the people
Yeah.
that inspire me, really. Oh, God, there's 2 rounds?
There's
Oh,
2
okay.
rounds.
I thought that was it.
It's guys that listen, not guys.
Okay.
All right. If you weren't a hairstylist, what would you be?
Ooh, a plastic surgeon.
Oh.
Dang,
Yeah.
Okay. What's one moment you would relive if you could, not BTS concerts though, because I know you've done that 16 times. Aside from that,
Maybe reliving meeting Taeyong, because it was so good. Yeah, when I met him, it was just like, he was like, sometimes you know how they say never meet your idols because like it might change your mind on him, but like he was exactly what I thought. Like, he was amazing, fan service, like, and then like when you meet them, they're exactly what you want. Is you just become a bigger fan.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, like meeting him again.
that's awesome. What's your favorite body part on a male?
Shoulders.
Okay. What is your favorite pickup line?
Do not want to look like a 10.
Oh my God.
It could come off as a pickup line,
Yeah,
but it is
that's
good.
great.
I can
Yeah.
see that
That's
working.
great.
That's
Yeah.
so it's so versatile. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna use it.
All right. If you could live anywhere else aside from Seattle, where would it be?
Maybe Japan or Korea.
Japan or Korea?
Yeah.
All right. Nice.
But I don't like public transportation like that. But
Oh, really?
I want to be in a car, have a car though, in those places.
Okay. But then it's easier to take public
I
transportation.
know,
on, huh?
yeah.
That's the only thing. What is something that you could remember that you were younger that no one knows?
I don't know if I have an answer. I feel like I'm too open of a book. Like, I just don't have any. I don't censor myself. So if someone asks me, I'm like, all right, here's the answer.
I was
Because I
thinking-
can't lie.
Yeah, because I was thinking it might be something with your mom because you held off the breakup for like a year. So I'm like, maybe you didn't tell your mom
Nah.
something.
Nope, I don't think so.
Oh, dang. Okay, mine was I never told my parents I didn't graduate high school.
That's scary.
Yeah, you can imagine being Asian. Shoo. That
Wow.
would have been a game over.
Yeah. Kick out of the house.
Yeah. What was your favorite moment at a BTS concert?
So I film a lot of fan cams. So like when I'm at the concert, they like look at you, and I got all these clips of Jungkook looking in my eyes.
Oh wow,
And
really?
like some of my video, like my fan cams, they get like millions of views
Really?
on TikTok.
What's one piece of advice you give to future hair salon owners?
To me, like you have to base it off the experience. It's not like, of course you can make money, but I like when I opened my salon, I just wanted a place to be creative. And like if you have the passion for that, the money will follow. But if you're only opening a salon to make money, like good luck, because everyone's gonna be a transaction to you. Like I'm doing it to build a relationship, because like once you have the relationship, they come back over and over and over. But if you're like $600 here, everyone's just gonna be a transaction and never come back. So if you don't have a good experience, then what's the point?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I get that. That's good advice.
Yeah.
All right, for my last
And don't
question.
open a salon. you make no money. Only you make money, but yeah.
But then you'll be spending all the money on BTS.
Yes. It's not as glamorous as you think, because I was deep unplunging a toilet last week.
Oh God.
Yeah.
All right, for my last question, what's a piece of advice you give to guys about getting the right haircut or the right hairstyle?
You just have to have the confidence. Like if someone tells you you would look good in it, you might have to trust that. Because like you might not see the vision for yourself, but like you two both have said you had other people see the vision for you, and you just trusted it and went with it. And then it kind of gave you that gateway to like exploring. So that's what I do. I just plant the seed in someone's head. I'm like, you know what? Silver hair would look really good on you. Yeah. The hair down will look really good on you. And you're like, you know what? It might. Like, you might go home later and be like, what does that look like? You're like, maybe I'm going to curl it tomorrow. And be like, oh, she was right.
I come back with like a perm tomorrow.
Yeah, see? And then you'll be like, she was right.
Yeah. Literally planted it already.
I know.
Yeah, it's just like be confident, rock the look, and like, it's just hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
And guys, they can transform so easily with the haircut. Like, you could be ugly today, but you get that fresh fade, and I'm like, damn, who is that?
Yeah. Like, you're not ugly, you just got a bad haircut.
Exactly.
All right, guys, that concludes our lightning round. I want to say thank you to our amazing guest, Cindy. Let us know where we can find you.
Hello, Cindy, on Instagram with 3 E's.
And thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Cindy, for coming, being such a great guest, for all the hair and business advice.
And BTS.
And BTS stuff.
Most importantly.
Exactly. And make sure you guys like, subscribe, and comment below what you guys want us to talk about next. And remember,
live fast, eat ass.